Yes, blessed love, people, blessed love. I really got to try and get these electronics and whatever together. I really have to tonight. I was trying to play the whole track, but it would only play the end. Cha. Let's just get down to business, shall we? Blessed love, my people, blessed love, blessed love, blessed love. So anyway, what are we going to be talking about tonight? I hope you've all had a good night. I hope you've all had a good week. I hope it's not been too stressful because, you know, we don't deal with stress. Our glass is always half full and we continue to press on and do the necessary work that needs to be done. So blessed love to all of you, my people. Blessed love, Hurricane Toya, Paula Smith. I can see full complement of house for the mods. And I know that we're going to have a rough ride tonight, buddy, as they say. A rough ride, buddy. So, two things that we are going to address tonight. Bless up, Sister Jael. Sister Jael Marketplace there. Haven't seen you in a while, my sister. Haven't seen you in a while. Let's address a few things tonight, shall we? So, we are going to address two issues tonight. First of all, we're going to deal with this Kevin Bennett debacle, which I didn't even know was a debacle. As usual, I walk into something and I have no idea about the explosions that are going on either side around Brixton. I am not from Brixton. This is what people need to understand and get. I am certainly not from Brixton. So I don't know the history, the passer, the whatever else. So we're going to talk about him. Have I got a picture of him? If you haven't seen who this person is and you don't know who this person is, as I don't know who this person is, you can go on my Instagram at Afra69 and have a look there. I don't think I've got a picture. I might have a screenshot of another point that I'm going to make about this tonight, about his live, actually, that might have his image in it. I think it does. So anyway, the bottom line is this. For those of you that are new to this platform, the His Time Is Up campaign was started in earnest in 2020 because of the barrage of complaints that had been coming out of the Black community, mainly the Brixton area, for generations. So I responded to that because I had worked as a practitioner in those areas, in the Brixton Drug Project and various other projects all around Brixton, Brixton Prison, all of these places I have delivered there. So there's something this person was saying tonight, this Kevin Bennett individual, because he's had a live where he's tried to get ahead of me, but we'll get there in a minute. But I have all of those and I have my credentials. There's no doubt about that. We've dealt with that on this platform before. So I had heard about Vincent Rapp and I basically heard a story through just a regular conversation that I had with somebody quite close to me who is a Brixtonian, even though I am not. And they, during that conversation, revealed that they too had been raped by Vincent Rapp. And that lit my fire. It lit my fire as a woman. It lit my fire as a survivor. It lit my fire as an activist. It lit my fire as a practitioner. It hit me on all levels, you know? And it's not something that I hadn't heard before. I'd heard it from clients. I've heard it from people that I know who are Brixtonians. I'd heard it from my own baby father, the legend fables allegedly that is Vincent Rapp. So I took to the screen, I made a video, the video went crazy, and here we are. Because what's happened then is that all these pent up sisters, all these sisters that have been silenced for so long came to me in their droves, in my inbox, wanting to bear testament. Sister Sarjo, your device is not connected. You've got to somehow, I don't know what kind of phone you've got, if it's really old or, oh man, we need you on tonight as well, sis. I can see you backstage, but it says your device is not connected. So you've got to find a way to put on your camera before you get on. Once you get on, then you can turn your camera off. I don't know if you can hear me. I might have to call you in a bit. But yeah, try to do that, sister, if you can hear me. Get off. Leave the camera on and the microphone on, come into wherever you are and then turn it off after that. If you try to do it before and leave it off when you join, it won't connect you because I can see you, but it says device is not connected. We've had this problem before. Sis, give me a moment, brothers and sisters. I need to call this sister here. I hate when the flow gets broken. But I do need to call this sister and let her know, because she probably can't hear me from where she is. Let me just get that out of the way. Hey. Oh. Right, okay. Yeah. It's not letting her through because of camera. Right, let me call her and just give me 2 minutes, people. Right, sorry about that, people. So yeah, sister's having some problems trying to get on. I can see she's trying to even join by 2 devices right now. Let me try and take her off. Try again, sis. Try again if you can, sis. So where was I? I've even completely forgotten where I was. One of the mods message me, please, and tell me where I was, because I've completely been thrown by that. In any event, we're talking about this brother. So let me get back into where I was. So basically, let's just cut straight to the chase, my brothers and sisters. I put an image up of a brother, like I do if I receive information. I was going to give it people the history for those of you that haven't joined, but really and truly, just go back, however far back you want to go on either of the platforms, and follow the timeline with each video. It's going to take you weeks, but you'll get up to speed and understand how we got to be where we are. We don't just call people out willy-nilly. This is not about carry gubbering, come hearsay, and whatever else that people have accused us of. This is a bona fide movement for women whose voices have been stifled, first of all through misogynoir, secondly through other women who usually are victims themselves, actually, who don't want to face their own trauma, so therefore they project that back onto other victims and become perpetrators themselves in various ways. We've talked about it many, many times on this platform. So that's why we exist. We started in earnest. Nobody went looking for this. This is about a need that has been stifled, and it has been repressed in the African Caribbean community, particularly the Black British Windrush community, which is what we focus on. Yeah, it has been stifled and it has been repressed for well on 80 years. Yeah, or thereabouts. And certainly when we're talking about people like myself, who is in my mid-50s, you understand? There was a whole culture around that. And that's why Vincent Rapp got called out. And I think more fundamentally, actually, and more specific to what we're going to be talking about tonight with this individual, he got called out by me because everyone knows, if you know Afua and you know how I move, I don't like bullies. I don't like people that think they can bully their way because of connection, because of name brands, or whatever we want to call it, that they can actually run with impunity in our community and do what the hell they please. And much of the time, like we've seen with so many men that we call out, people like Marcus Nasty and so much of them that I could care to mention, that think that they can then eject themselves from that, rebrand, reinvent, and try to come back and still feed off of the Black community twice. You know, it's not acceptable. It's absolutely not acceptable. And if you are truly on a road of enlightenment, if you are truly saying that, you know, that you are enlightened, that you've changed your ways, that you're able to now carve out a path where you are repentant, then let's see some of that from some of these hombres. Let's see some of that from these individuals. Let's see the truth and reconciliation. Let's actually see that. Let's set that up as a community, because that's what we ought to be doing. You know, people don't just get to eject and reinvent themselves. And that was some of the things that used to hurt the victims of Vincent Rapp, you know, and every other so-called name brand, usually from Brixton, sometimes Ladbroke Grove, sometimes Northwest London, and other places that we've called out. Because people always say, oh, we've called people out only in Brixton. That's absolute rubbish. It's absolute rubbish. And it isn't our fault if it's the majority that has been Brixton. It isn't our fault that the women of Brixton are the people that are speaking out. Because I'm not from Brixton. I don't know any of these characters from anywhere. I didn't grow up with them. We did not go to the same school. I don't know their shenanigans. I don't know who they're linked to. I don't know their history. I don't know anything. In the later part of my life, yeah, over the age of 40, I had a child through tied up tubes. I wasn't planning on having this child. Careful where you shit, don't it? Careful where you play where you shouldn't be playing. But I did, and I ended up with a child for an individual that is linked to quite a lot of people in Brixton. Yeah? So I used to hear stories through him and whatever, and actually by association, I know certain people because of him. But I don't really know them. They're his people, they're not mine. No one knows my people, and that's what buns a lot of them. Do you understand? And if there was any dirt on me that was of any legitimacy that they could care to bring, yeah, there would be a barrage of people by now that would be queuing at the door to show evidence and come to and try to show what a nasty piece of work Afua actually is. But all they do is come with supposition, feed off of trolls who just invent things. They completely fabricate things. I find it quite comical. And on it goes. So we work off the power of three. Everybody knows that. There has to be at least 3 separate inquiries, and that sometimes takes years or months now, we've realized, for different names to pop up and for us to go, hold on, this guy, we've seen him before, and to go back through whatever files we have and say, yeah, that name's popped up before. I was accused earlier on by this Kevin Smith. Sorry, I keep calling him Kevin Smith, you know, that is really deep. It's a kind of Freudian slip that keeps happening when I've been saying his name recently. And I believe Kevin Smith was that mad pastor man that killed off a load of people in the churches. Very charismatic individual as well. But in any event, Kevin Bennett is not a name that I've come across before. I'm not from his age group. And so therefore, I would not really have had much knowledge of him like I did with Vincent Rapp or something. I have no idea who this cat is. I believe that I was reminded that Killer P had mentioned him on a live during a conversation. Clearly, he was not the focus of that live because it would have gone over my head. I didn't even remember. Yeah, I did not even remember. Oh, sorry, guys. I hope you can hear me now. Can you hear me now, Hurricane Toya? So I did not even remember that this person had been mentioned because it wouldn't have been as a main topic. It would have been in relation to whatever Killer P was saying. So last week, when we were dealing with Afra Belly, yeah, and we're going to go on to talk about her afterwards. Oh, yes, we are. You know, when Sister comes on, if Sister can't actually get her device connected, we're going to try and do it by the phone. But we need to hear from that sister. So we'll talk about Afra Belly in a minute. So the brother comes on. We're talking about something else. He mentions this guy's name. It goes over my head. In the same live, another woman comes on at Moon Readings or Moon Star Readings or somebody like that, her name was, something like that. She also mentions this Kevin Smith and then starts to elaborate and talk about him being a scammer and things like this around women, okay? So I said to her on the live, if you go back and look on that live, actually, I'm going to put it up on a different platform. They've had it taken down for defamation because we know what YouTube are like. They don't try to investigate anything. It's just what it is. It's very easy. But my thing is this, when they try to take it down, we all know, for you guys that have been here for a long time, when they try to take certain lives down, these people, We don't care, because by the time they get through with doing that, 3,500 people or sometimes more have seen that live, screen recorded it, passed it around WhatsApp, and the message is out there anyway. Do you understand? So it is what it is. So, and half the time I don't even bother to even try to get them to put back up through appealing. I don't bother, because it's just long. I can't be asked. I ain't got the time for all of that. So they've taken that down. What you will see, if you've already seen the live, or when you get another chance to see the live, is you will see me ask that woman, who's Kevin Smith? Because I don't know who this guy is. Kevin Bennett. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Hurricane Toya. Who's Kevin Bennett? Kevin Bennett. Who is he? Who is he? Yeah? I've got this idiosyncrasy where I just mess up names like that. And it's usually because of some sort of connection. Might be the charismatic speaker thing and kind of drawing people in. It might be that's making a connection for me. Why I keep saying Kevin Smith. But anyway, Kevin Bennett. So I said to her, who's Kevin Bennett? So she goes on to tell me this very, very kind of concise tale about this guy. So I'm like, oh, okay then. Well, he doesn't sound like a nice guy. And off that goes. I then start to get inboxed on my platform, on Instagram, which is, we know that's always the route that things come, by all these different women saying, yes, I watched the live on YouTube, and yes, Kevin Bennett this and Kevin Bennett that, and Kevin Bennett the devil knows what. This has got nothing to do with past beef with you and another brother from your own ends. I don't know anything about that. I don't know about people's history like that. Killer P approached our platform quite independently, quite out of the blue. Yeah. No knowledge of this brother either. And he showed his support. And we will forever be grateful for that, especially a brother of his ilk to do that for us in a place where most of the brothers are either running scared or trying to be against us. Of course, we welcomed him with open arms. And he hasn't shown us any kind of vibes different. The whole thing with Afra Belly is, we'll get to her. And, you know, we covered her last week, but we're going to cover it even deeper this week. But we'll get to her. You understand me? The rest of it, I am not party to this. And anything else, we always say that it is alleged, because until it is brought to a court of law, and we do encourage people that give us this information, women that give us this information, and men, because we do get a lot of men that verify what the women are telling us. We don't just go around and just take some idle gal chat. When women speak to us, we want to speak to other people that know them. We want to speak to other people that know those people. We want to investigate as best we can. I don't present here in my job role. And I certainly wouldn't be getting any of those jobs if I wasn't qualified to do them. You know, my agency laugh at that part of it. They watch this live, the people that I work through, that I subcontract through, because I work for myself. They laugh when they watch these things, and we laugh together. They even wanted to actually do a recruitment drive on the platform, but we deemed that it wouldn't be really that appropriate, you know, for them to do that. But they actually wanted to target more practitioners in the Black community and use this live to do that. Yeah, if I'm lying, let my agency sue me. These people, I ain't got nothing to prove, especially to underlings. So that's how I do it. Anyway, bottom line is, I don't know. This guy, Kevin Bennett, before I get on to what he's been getting on with, as far as I have been told, it is alleged. I can't say if he did that for sure. I know that I can say that I believe what I have heard and from what I have seen. And I can also say that we did investigate. Yeah, we spoke to many people and we saw what we needed to see, as always on this platform. Yeah, there's no conspiracy here. Why would there be a conspiracy? I don't know this brother. He's some guy from Stockwell Park Estate who's got connections. This is what I've been learning. And one of those connections I was interested to find out was that his brother is quite a notorious character that was very well known in Brixton Road legend back in the day before he was murdered. And he's a guy called Little Andy. Now, incidentally, I'm learning, Little Andy, Kevin Bennett's older brother, was best friends, wingman, with guess who? Vincent Rat. Now, from our standpoint, I'm like, why are they all connected with each other? I don't even understand. And why do they all seem to display, or why do they have the same allegations coming up time and time again from people connected to this circle. I just don't understand it. So this is why I asked the question, who is Kevin Bennett? I asked it on the live when I became cognizant of his name. Yeah. When Killer P mentioned it, that went over my head because I don't know who this person is from Adam. He mentioned it as an appendage to the story that we were telling and that he was contributing to. Okay. So it's the pieces have all come together, and I'm thinking, okay, the only interest I have in that individual, in terms of what I've been told about that individual by alleged victims, is that connection to that individual, Vincent Rat. Why do all roads lead back to that monster? This is what I want to know, even down into the younger generation. Why does it always lead back to him? I don't understand it. In any event, what I find also very interesting is that listen, or maybe they hated each other actually, or they were allies or enemies or whatever. Do you understand what I'm saying? Somebody else's EC, your device is not being connected. Your device is not being connected. Forgive me, Jim Banks, because I get so much information a daytime and I don't always jot it down. Like I say, I like to kind of regurgitate things organically. So I might get some of the pieces in the wrong place. I stand corrected if that's not the case, because as you said it, it triggered the fact that I'm thinking, okay, was he an enemy? Actually, I think he might have been, from what I've been told. Yeah, exactly. It is alleged. It is alleged. Everything that we're told is alleged. I think in the case of Vincent Rat, you're gone past alleged with him because there's so much testimony. EC, you tried to join just now. Can EC, whoever you are, please connect your device because it's saying your device is not connected. Please, 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 please. In any event, there is still a connection there. You know, there is still a connection there. And there are rumors as well, apparently, within this community that the brothers were at loggerheads with each other. They were in... Okay, EC, I know you can hear me backstage, whoever you are, EC. But it says that your device is not connected. So somewhere, I should start putting up a phone line for these occasions, you know. Because, EC, you're going to have to connect your device. Please do that. I might try to put a ringing line. You can do that on Zoom, can't you? I don't know about on here. You might be able to. Because some people, I don't know if it's their device or they're just not doing something properly. My platform is always open. I always invite people to come on and state their case and, you know, if they want to prove their innocence. What I don't do is what I've heard has been done tonight, because I didn't go on this guy's live, but people that are either followers of mine or members of my team or whatever, they were on that live. And what this individual was doing was blocking people that had any kind of juxtaposition or whatever. You understand? Any kind of juxtaposition, anything that was where this person was going to be challenged. And he used a really cheap shot trying to tarnish Killer P and trying to prove that Killer P was some kind of, you know, charlatan by previously saying that this movement was about labrish or something like that, scandal. It was scandalous. I got sent screenshots of this, you know, just before I went on. That's why I was a little bit late, kind of trying to flick through everything. And I'm saying to myself, is this guy really going to try to bamboozle the people with a cheap shot at spin doctoring using a really badly edited montage of Killer P's speeches, lives, videos, whatever he's done? Because what Killer P says is, he says something like, you know, when Afua was walking and scandaling you or something like that. And apparently the context of that is, because none of it is in context, but the context of that is that he was actually lashing out against somebody that he knew because he'd previously believed the guy and sort of backed him after this guy had been called out by us. And this was before Killer P had even approached us. So we didn't know Killer P didn't know us. So he's using all these bits of sort of history to try to prove his point. I just find it really interesting that the MO of so many of them, Rat, Tony Buttons didn't actually. He did the sensible thing and just disappeared. But Rat, Eamon Edwards, all of these people just fly straight into damage control before I've even said what I've got to say. I find that really, really interesting, you know. I can't say for certain, none of us can, because as much as they say that people are lying on them, they also can't prove the opposite, that they're actually not guilty. He talks about stuff that I've talked about. This is what all the trolls do. This is what all the naysayers do. You know, they start quoting things that I've said myself. So he's like, oh, she's being sued. The world and his brother knows that. Just check my posts, you know. And what I will say as well to this individual, because I watched the arrogance, and I watched his elementary attempts at NLP and trying to public speak and draw people in. It was just pathetic. It really, really was. I was thinking, he's not even amongst the best. I don't know if he knows who I've got 2 children for. He might not understand that I do, which is Viv Amun, the best of the best, because they all try to mimic him. They all try to do what he does. You know, you don't do it very well, Kevin Bennett. So please don't try to, and also you need to talk to your commander-in-chief, Mr. Viv Amun. You need to speak to him, and you need to ask him who I am in terms of my spirit. Because what I don't subscribe to and what I don't scare easily with is offers to try to drag me through the legal system. I don't serve them. I don't hark after or try to aspire to where you people are. Like my teacher Khalid Muhammad used to say, I don't seek your political office. You won't see me standing up with the mayor, like my ex-husband, like you. You won't see me trying to be off their back door for funding. No, that's not who I am. I speak for the masses of Black people in this country, and we're not about to sell them out. You know, I got halfway home, didn't quite reach the motherland, but I did find Jamaica, and I sat upon the sand that knew the feet of heroes. You know, go and check out my stuff. You can hear that. You know, I might start even sharing some of my stuff here in terms of what I think about white collar people like you, or wannabe white collar people like you, that want to brush off the dirt and pretend that they arrived at where they're at. Don't trifle with me, little boy. Don't trifle with me, because I don't care about your legal system and your lawsuits and your whatever. And this attempt, this old chestnut, this cliche of trying to gaslight women like ourselves to say that we're traumatized and that we have some sort of mental health problem. It's an old chestnut, Kevin Bennett. It's not even original, which actually I've been kind of doing my little bits of research on you, and people have barraged me with loads of different videos about you. I've not been able to go through all of them, but for the things that I have seen, yeah, you're not that polished. You haven't walked where we've walked. Yeah, speak to the real people. The real people, not those that have dragged themselves up off of road and tried to reinvent themselves because they don't want to face their wrongs. They don't want to have to atone for their sins. Speak to the real people that hold the gate to where it is that you want to go. Ask them about Afua, yeah? And they'll tell you about me, about I must cease and desist. Is that it? You didn't even use that language. You weren't even using the correct language. You haven't told us yet what your legal action is, and that your papers have been put together within 2 days without there even being an indictment. You speak to the brothers and sisters and take them for kunamuno because they don't understand certain languages. That's how you people, yeah, that's how you people think that you can deal with our people. And I'm not having it, because I stand in the gap. I understand the roads, and I also operate within those echelons. I choose to eject myself because all of you are a bag of charlatans. That's what you are. That's what Afua says. So let's get to what it is that the sisters are saying. Okay, they're saying that this brother has reinvented himself. He doesn't tell anybody why he was stabbed 4 times. He doesn't actually go into what it is or how he got a Porsche 18 or whatever all of these stories is that are being told. This is what I have been told. This is what is alleged against him. Okay, and we all know that this platform is set up to speak about that, because for too long we do not get any kind of justice in the system. One of the things that I saw from the screenshot from this individual was his lack of empathy for sisters. Read between the lines, my people. For those those of you that want to actually believe in this self-styled guru nonsense. I've been through it before. I sat with the best of them with that self-styled guru nonsense. You understand what I'm saying? You Hotep dons, thinking that you can succubus off of us sisters in the name of what? Our own healing, which you caused in the first place. This is what's going on in our community, brothers and sisters. They come along as damaged young men, perpetrate absolute hell in our community on those sisters. They're forced into silence, which they still are. You know how much of them I pleaded with them to come on tonight, because it would give it far more legitimacy if this is what I'm saying to them. I'm fed up of standing in the gap. I know this is how I started this, and I needed to do that when it came on to Vincent Rapp. But surely we've shown you now the way that we dealt with Vincent Rapp. There is no longer anything to be afraid of. They cannot intimidate you as long as we stay together. But still they're afraid. Still they're afraid. So I got to stand in the gap. I've got to face the legal argument. I've got to face getting sued. Well, lucky for my sisters, those things don't faze me. Lucky for them. If you think that you can come and gaslight us talking about mental health and trauma, you're having a laugh. You should have known me when my name was Denise Rose, when I was in my teens and 20s. At that time, you would have known about trauma. I'm a 54-year-old survivor of whatever I've been through. Yeah, and we stand strong in the community. In fact, we are the only people right now in the community that are standing up for the healing, because the healing starts with repentance. The healing starts, with not only repentance, but atonement for what you have done. Where's your truth and reconciliation for what you have done before you think that you can change from kid in Stockwell Park Estate, aka kid from the duo Kid and Play that used to terrorize that estate, allegedly, according to these sisters and brothers that I've actually spoken to now through the sisters linking me to them. Yeah, it's got nothing to do with your beef and Killer P. You're trying to do exactly what Quincy did when we found out what we found out through whistleblowers. Social workers, we found out what we found out through. And I still haven't released the papers for that. Everyone knows that if anything ever happens to me, my evidence that I don't show the public, because one day I hope to be able to convince every single victim that has approached us to approach the police together as a unit and bring these people to justice. I can't make them do that. So I don't know why these people think that my name is Crown Prosecution Service about I've never had a conviction. Did I tell you that I'm the police and investigator? Did I tell you that I'm a barrister or a lawyer? Did I tell you any of those things? I'm here being active for my sisters, because I'm being active, because somebody's got to be a voice to them. All the same traits, all the gaslighting traits, all the narcissistic traits. That's all I saw in that sham of a life. And what was even more interesting for me, I think, my brothers and sisters, that when you went on the live, there was not even 100 people on there. Most of those people were people that were on my page telling me today, sending me screenshots of this guy's advertisement or his flyer for the live, and telling me that they were going to jump on. That's what it was. He even said it himself at one point. There's going to be spies here. There was, matey. So not a lot of people were listening to you. This man even had the audacity to try to piggyback a movement for himself on the back of his time is up. Can you believe it, my sisters? Every one of you that stood up in Windrush Square on 2 occasions now, every one of you that has shared on this platform of your pain, yeah? Can you believe this brother? He wants to now start a movement, not dissimilar to what Donna Murray Turner was trying, yeah? Of where people that have been hurt by us, apparently, because their names have been called, can now DM him, and he's going to try to, he already launched a GoFundMe tonight, a GoFundMe for legal costs to be paid for people that want to bring legal arguments. I don't know if you're familiar with the teachings of Khalid Muhammad, my brother, but I'm one of his proteges. I'm one of his students. That's who I am. And you will realize very quickly, once you get his ideology in your skull, that these are not the things that you can threaten me with. And because I'm a fearless woman, you also can't intimidate me with trying to bag me up or beat me up or tie me up or doing any of the things that I've been told that you used to do to sisters back in the day when you used to recruit children at Lawn Road Children's Home and used to make them sell drugs for you. Now, we all know what a murky world that was. Allegedly, this is what happened. This is what we've been told by the children that are now adults that were involved that still are too scared to speak out. EC, can you please connect your device if you want to come on, brother or sister? Man, I'm not these people. I'm not going to block you. Yeah, I'm not going to block you. Let me put you back out so you might be able to hear me better. But whoever EC is, EC, please could you connect your device? Connect your device. Anyway, so the exploitation of children is what has been alleged here. I would like to, I mean, this guy went to Dick Shepherd apparently. And I do believe, I'm sure it's either Tulsa, yeah, Dick Shepherd. I'm sure that my baby father went to Dick Shepherd. They all bloody know each other anyway. But at the end of the day, he went to Dick Shepherd school. And I would like to challenge, actually, any Brixtonian that was of that era that remembers a guy called Kid from another duet called Kid and Play. Now, Kid Play apparently is a guy called Anthony Douglas, I think. And we have called him out independently and separately a good little while ago. I'm wondering if that's what he was alluding to when he said that I tried to call his name a few years ago. Did his name come up in that conversation? It may well have done, but I don't remember. And I don't remember ever featuring him. So I don't know what he's talking about there. I've never tried to call his name. But what he's trying to do tonight, and what he's been trying to do in order to try to damage Limitate, is try to get an old beef that he has with somebody who has associated themselves with us, or who we are associated with, an old beef between him and them, which is all about area things, nothing to do with us, and try to use that as a deflection technique to actually answer the direct issue. And he's run ahead of himself and done it, which to me just looks very, begs some questions, you know, why you might want to scuttle like that. Anyway, so what he's done is try to do that in much the same way that when we dealt with Quincy tried to draw for Mega Man and use Mega Man as a shield because he had history with Mega Man and old beef with Mega Man. And because Mega Man was associated with us, he tried to put some sort of conspiracy together that Mega Man and I were in cahoots to try to sink him. Who's got time for any of this? And who are you to want to sink? What would be the benefit in it for me? To try and sink you? I don't know you. You don't have any impact on my life. I don't know you. What I do know is, just like every other brother that we've called out on this platform, is that we have been contacted by several women telling us about your nasty shenanigans back in the day. That's what's happened. And that's the only reason you've been called out. Your name lit up, not even because Killer P said it. Well, I suppose it is because Killer P said the name, because then the sister came on and also added to that name being called. But once the sister did that, whoever she is, and she never did message me. I asked her from the live to DM me. She didn't DM me, but a lot of other sisters did, hearing what she had said. That's all this is about. And that's all it's ever going to be about on this platform. That's all it's ever going to be about. His time is up, does not get itself involved in beef with the Mandem. In beef with the Mandem, Brixton Mandem and their beef. We don't get involved with it. Yeah? I have spoken to Killer. Killer's been quite open about him being stalked. Yes, I've spoken to him about that. I didn't realize certain other little nuances about that, but Killer P will tell his own story about that. But this is all after the fact. This is all after the fact. But the cheap little shots my man was taking about that can't be asked. The drug running, the exploitation of children. And there is also one story, but told by several people that were actually there when certain things happened. You know, they were around in that environment at that time. And one of the things is the way that he was cruel, according to these people, you know. And the fact that the recruitment was taking place out of Lawn Road as well, which we have featured many times. We featured it when we were talking about Tony Clark. We featured it when we were talking about the Cadogan family. We featured it in relation to Tony Buttons, in relation to Eamon Edwards, in relation to Vincent Ratt. We featured these poor children in that one little home in Lawn Road. My God, there's all a connection, people. There's all a connection somewhere. But I'm wrecking lives, apparently. If I'm wrecking lives, why why is there so many women telling me these stories? And why is it concentrated in Brixton? It's not my fault. I didn't pick Brixton. You know, beating up young girls, recruiting them for your drug trade. This is how you made your wealth, and then you've turned it into legitimacy. I mean, that's not new either. I used to teach a course in Brixton Prison about skill conversion and turning the roads into legitimate businesses and things like that. That would be better for people to do. And that's great. And nobody's saying that a person can't take their spot in terms of freeing themselves from that lifestyle. But when that's true, they've already gone around and done the internal work, those people. Those people, are, before they write a book, before they start to become life coaches and public speakers and motivational speakers, before they do all of that, they've already done their steps. Do you understand? They've already done their steps. They've been and sought truth and reconciliation with their actual victims. I don't believe this has happened in this case. Anybody who is going to try and say that this man didn't used to run drugs in Sokol Park Estate and recruit young children from the care system to be his runners and he'll treat them, in fact, brutalize them, jump on. Here's the link. I'm going to put it out. In fact, let me put it out on the end. No, in fact, I'm going to put it out in this section in case anyone wants to jump on very quickly. But sister is waiting backstage to talk about the one named Afra Belly. We're going to deal with her because she's just, oh my days. These people, honestly, they think taking down posts and trying to bring legal charges against me is going to stop us. You can block every single one of these platforms because guess what? I started my life in activism when there wasn't such a thing as social media. There wasn't even internet. We had VHS videos and books. That's what we did. We took to the streets. So you might think that that might affect me, but we're not going to be silenced because of that. We'll just have a march more regularly. We'll take it through the streets. That's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. You can't use these tactics on black women, any more black men of your ilk, and try to shut us down. And actually, you suffer from delusions of grandeur because you seem to think that you're all-encompassing and all-powerful to be able to do that. Who cares if you shut down any platforms? Who bloody well cares? I have a tanai. I will go out into the streets and I'll say what I have to say there. In fact, I'd like it that way because I'm missing the fact that we used to gather in community centres and halls to listen to speeches. I used to speak at a lot of those events. So if you think this social media world is going to make one iota, one proper difference on what I say, you can think again. I'm sniffing, not from what I've been told, but from the way that you've approached things, that you're somewhat of a bully. And I have eyes enough and training enough, my friend, to see a narcissist when I know one. When I know a narcissist when I see one. I spent enough time with one. I have 2 children for one. One whose position that people like you hark after, don't you? So do your due diligence, man. Do what you got to do. Spend your Skrilla, however you've earned it, and pursue me. All right? Talk to some of your people them as well, some of your elders who are in your circles, and tell and see how they feel after doing it. But you need to join a queue. It's not going to deter me. All I know is that the sisters I've spoken to, I'm going to say it on this live now. We can only carry on for so long in me standing in the gap and telling your stories. Some sisters have felt brave enough. I'm never going to want to push a victim to come into the light like that because it does come at a cost for them. But I know the cost that it's come at for me. Yeah. And I'm saying that it is always far more powerful if you tell your own story. And it's also far more powerful if you even try to seek justice. We know you'll probably get the door slammed in your face. We know that that's going to happen. Look at what's happened with the Tony Clark case. Look back the next couple of lives. I told you what the update is with that. You know, where is the justice there? Tell me where the justice is there. And, you know, maybe we'll revisit that. Maybe we won't. But at the end of the day, and we're not talking about that tonight. So what I'm saying is that transparency, you know, is this person being honest about actually how they got where they were? Are they being honest about the victims that they've left in their wake? Because there's a lot of women talking about the brutalization they received as young care children because they had to work in your syndicate, you and your brothers. There's a lot of girls talking about that. These children were tied up and raped and brutalized and trafficked and sent all over the place to do whatever they were doing. This is not on. I can't make them go to the police with it. And there's, you know, when it comes to the Brixton cases, it's always where you find the most deadlock because it was so prolific, this level of terrorization. And as we've seen, they're all linked together somehow. It's like a big, big monster in their community in Brixton that these women to this day in their 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever they are that have approached us, still don't feel able to talk publicly for themselves. Blessed to the brave ones that have coming out of that community, because whatever kind of conditioning that they've received is just unbelievable. Yes, this man has been called out before. Yes, he has. And he's been called out before by a woman who I think was shut down. And apparently, I'm being told by these sisters that she's never been seen again and I must be scared. Scared of what? This man's going to come and try and kill me. You must think it's law enforcement that we draw for in these situations. No, it's not. We work with the Holy Spirit. That's who we work with. We don't do any kind of nothing apart from that. But if you are doing a nastiness and you know that you've got a body count and you know that you've abused women and children, particularly, and you try to come for somebody that is trying to tell truth or expose the truth, then what do you think that the universe does with that? What do you think that the universe does with that? I don't have to do anything. All I am doing is ripping off the scab that has been festering in our community for generations. And here we have a younger generation now, because we were dealing with the 50-somethings, the 60-something, the 70-somethings, and now it's the 40-something man them. It's even getting younger than that. Why is this a generational curse in our community that keeps happening time and time again? I really don't know. But there has to be some efficacy given to a cohort of women, not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, but a cohort of women that approach and say, this is what has happened to me. And if that can be verified by other witnesses that say, well, yeah, that is the character of the individual, that is how they were moving at that time. We have to be able to give some efficacy to that, because God only knows that the system doesn't give it to us. What I find very striking about that man is the fact that he showed he did not lend any kind of rhetoric to the suffering of victims in this community. He kept speaking about victims as if they were traumatized women that followed this platform, that we were all getting together because we had some sort of bugbear against brothers and some sort of trauma. Unbelievable. The same tired, gaslighting old chestnut. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. I hope I'm going to be speaking to these sisters. They need to come on. You need to come on, my sisters. I said it to you earlier. Stop leaving me out in the cold like this now. I've done it for nearly 3 years and taken it in the net, left, right, and center. I have been sacked from my job. Yeah. I have been arrested. I have been sued. I have been all kind of something. I've had my children's lives threatened. I've had my life threatened, standing in the gap for you sisters. Time to come on and speak your truth if you say you truly support this platform. You know, I can't do my homework, Chanel Smith. People need to really understand that. It would take me to turn myself into an investigative journalist and go out into South London looking for these stories. Yeah, the only way I can start to do my homework is when I am approached by one sister, two sisters, three sisters. Then I start asking questions. Then we start asking for information to be sent to us. Then we start following leads. Then we start talking to multiple people. Other than that, why would I know these stories? Am I the oracle? Am I the all-seeing eye of the Black community that I know everything that goes on in every single corner? No, I am not. I cannot speak unless I am told. And when I'm told, it is alleged until the point where it is proven unequivocally the case. In some cases, the legal system have let victims down. Okay, as in the case with Vincent Ratt and various other people, they've let victims down. There is clear evidence that individuals have approached the police time and time again and they've turned a blind eye. And what you have is a big, huge cohort of women that have approached us with that paperwork, shown us that, for us, we don't need to ask any more questions. That is guilt right there. There are some cases like that. And I'm not saying that this guy is as prolific as Vincent Rat or whatever, or that it's been to that level, to be fair. But what I am saying is, it's been to enough of a level for us to put his face up, enough of a level for us to talk about it. What I really am responding to, I suppose, in terms of my disdain, is his response, because it's so typical. And what was really funny for me, when I got sent these screenshots of individuals, is that it's the same old suspects that was on his page listening to his foolishness. Same old suspects. So you had Sherelle on there. Need I say more? Sherelle of the infamous. Afra Belly was on there, I'm told. So that's not a surprise. And then apparently you had people like Cassie Cross on there. And I just thought to myself, look at this shit show. Look at this absolute shit show. This guy is preaching to psychotic individuals, you understand, spouting the same rhetoric that they do, and trying to sound as if he's intelligent. I don't know. Use your money, do what you've got to do, because money doesn't really faze us. We don't care. If there's a case to be answered, a case should be answered. And I encourage those sisters to come forward and go to the police. I can't do it for them. I'm not a witness. All I'm doing is reporting. That's what people need to understand. We report. We prefer when the sisters come on, hide their faces if they have to, and their voices are heard. We prefer that. But we cannot always expect them to do that, and we cannot always demand that they do that. We never do demand that they do that. And we never demand that sisters choose to make their stories go public. At the point where we connect with a story, anyone will tell you that's been on this platform, what do you want to do, sister? Do you want to take it here? Do you want to go to the police? Do you want to... And yeah, and let her... Yeah. Sorry, I was just trying to read up the comments, people. You know, what do you want to actually do? And those people that say they want it to go public, that's what we do. It's what we do for them. It's a new system. You know, maybe 100 years from now, people will accept it. Unbelievable. But what's making me laugh is brothers and sisters, is Sherelle is back again. And you know our Sherelle, don't you? She doesn't waste any time. She doesn't waste any time jumping on the bandwagon. So the brother put up a post that he was going to go live or something like that. And Sherelle was on it straight away. I couldn't even believe it. Anyway, forget all of those people, because I just found it funny that the same people with the same gripes and the same foolishness are the people that are going to be coming together. Why don't you? He did the right thing, really. You know, all go to Kevin Bennett, all you trolls from Truths and Rights, right back to Sherelle, right back to all these other embittered people. All of you go to Kevin Bennett and form a little club and see if you can get people to try to sue me. How pathetic. Answer to what you've done and speak to the people that you know in your community. If this is true, think back in your mind. I'm not talking Kevin Bennett, I'm talking Kid. I don't know about any of this, but I'm told that Kid is the guy. Kevin Bennett is the reproduction. Kevin Bennett is the replica, the clone, the other guy. You know, the guy that you were pleading for people to focus on today because you were talking about all the good that you've done in the community. This is what Rat done. Tried to turn himself into a community leader because he didn't want that past coming out. Jimmy Savile. You know, and I'm not liking these people to Jimmy Savile. I mean, he really is the top of the tree, isn't he? But you see the same MO coming out time and time again is what I'm saying in terms of people that are accused of these things. So I find it very interesting. I find it very interesting. The same sort of deflection techniques when they really don't want to deal with the real issue. It's actually a bit crazy. People are getting information from my LinkedIn people and expecting to think that that's how they can find out about my qualifications. So there's my LinkedIn page. At the time when Tony Clark then was trying to troll it and trying to call my ex-workplace and whatever, I put up a notification on my LinkedIn. And the notification reads like that. Go and check it out for yourself. I can't be bothered to read all the way through it. But it reads like that. I put this up months ago on my LinkedIn to tell all these idiots that are trying to get the information from it that this is not a platform that I relied upon, that I used really. I kind of half populated it 1 or 2 times back in 2016. And then I came off of it because I've never been one to try to do these things online till it catches up with you. We've got no choice these days. But this is where they want to try and get their information from and try to indict me with it. Idiots, charlatans. We've seen this so many times before, you know. But in any event, trafficking children, maiming children. There's also another individual, actually, as I'm thinking about it. Let me not forget. This individual here. So this guy here is a guy that in Stockwell Park Estate used to be called Matty. And he wrote a book. His name's Wayne Hutchinson. He wrote a book called Once Upon a Time in Brixton. But unfortunately for us, I would have loved to have read it. It cannot, because of some sort of court case or something about that. He's not able. We're not able to get the book. Amazon have had to take it off their list and whatever, because this guy, obviously, with his his money, which gives him access and legal prowess, shut this guy down. And this guy also suffers from psychosis. Now, he talks in the book, apparently, that his psychosis has stemmed directly because of the treatment he received as a care kid from Kevin Bennett. He was called Matty back in the day, but his name's Wayne Hutchinson. So this guy's been silenced and shut down through the Mental Health Act, through legal action, and what have you. But it's all very interesting. I just think, of course everything's alleged, but there's enough of a smoky little trail here to warrant some really, really deep questions. Yes, this is what I'm being told, talking ISH. Matty is ill. Very, very ill. In fact, he's so ill that he ran around Brixton for 6 days, stabbing people up and killed quite a few people. But having worked with mentally ill people, especially those that have an insight into their illness, one thing that people that tell you that work in that community, you don't just get to palm them off with what they're saying because they're mad. It isn't true. You understand? So I'd love to read that book. But from what I've been told by the people that I've spoke to, this individual was not lying about what he said in this book. Oh, wow, Emmy, thank you. I hope he's watching, you know. I'm told that he's really, really unwell now. So I can't even speak to him. I wanted to, but I'm told that he's really, really unwell. Hopefully he can get a moment of clarity and try to speak to me, but I'm told it's not really wise, you know, because he's really, really unwell. And he's not made it a secret why he became so unwell, why he was psychotic, why he went on a killing spree, because by all accounts, according to him, he was used as a killing machine by Kevin Bennett and his cohort as a youth. This is kid. Maybe I shouldn't say Kevin Bennett. Maybe I should say kid, because we're talking about 2 different personas here, you know, allegedly, according to what I've been told. So I'm told that there was also another young man who was very small for his age, who was picked up and thrown over a balcony by this individual. People witnessed this. He nearly died. And it was actually Kid, aka Kevin Bennett himself, that drove the guy to the hospital and tried to make it look like something else. I've been told about so many different acts of absolute brutality and exploitation of children. Of course I had to feature it and talk about it, because the reason we talk about it in this way is that we want to appeal for other people that have been through this, that the victims who approach in the first place can become 3 and then 4 and then 5 and then 10 and then 20, if that is what is going to happen. And once that happens, we would love for those people to approach the police like it happened with Rap. Yeah? Yes, these investigations take years. Absolutely they do. And no, we do not say everything that we've heard and known or have evidence of on the live, because we're hoping for a police case going forward. It's what it is. That's the His Time Is Up campaign. That's what this platform is about. That's what it is. Now, let me just hold my tongue when it comes on to certain legal things that are happening at the moment, Because don't think that we're going to walk into court without evidence. We're not hiding from that. People can do what they want. They can come with what they want. And we can stand up and say, well, here is what we have. This is what we saw. This is what we heard. And therefore, if you want to try to bring defamation, then you're going to have to prove that I didn't know this was true. Right? If I believe that it's true and I feel it's in the public interest and I know that it is alleged and I'm saying that it's alleged, there's not really a defamation case, especially if there's a police investigation going on and you've not yet proven your innocence in that. It's not defamation. Bring a police case, sisters. It's obviously eating at you. Clearly. The woman said his name. And moon risings, if you're listening, please jump back on, because I'd like you to elaborate. I was thinking, well, you actually came on this live and you were brave enough to come on, weren't you? You were brave enough to come on. So therefore, come on again, because all these other sisters are running scared that this man is going to use his money, his power, his manipulation, his perceived command of the English language. Because I'm telling you, amongst the big boys, he's not very articulate at all. For people that aren't that articulate, you know, what you should be doing is what I try to do, what others like me try to do. We try to use our articulation and our voice to be a voice for those who are less articulate than ourselves. And that's what leadership looks like, actually. That is the cornerstone principle of leadership. That's what I was taught by my leader. Use your articulation skills, your voice, to be a voice for others that are less fortunate than yourself. But that's not what these people are doing. They're trying to use those skills to jinnel and turn it back on their own people in order to manipulate them. It's not what we're here for. It's not what we're here for. If you're guilty, if you're not guilty, prove that you're not. Prove that you're not guilty of these things. Because I'll tell you one thing. I thought you were going to come with a long list of really difficult questions that people can jump on the live and ask me tonight. Things that people don't know, that aren't already out in the public domain, that I've put there myself and whatever. And you haven't really come with anything. What you've tried to do is what Quincy tried to do with Mega Man. You tried to create a smoke screen based on old beef between you and a brother from your ends. It's got absolutely nothing to do with Afua. It's got absolutely nothing to do with the His Time Is Up campaign. It's got absolutely nothing to do with the women who have approached me. How dare you? How dare you think you can gaslight and telling people about mental health and whatever? Come correct and come original. Do me a favor and hold the mayo. Let me put, I don't know who these little children think they are, really. There's the link, putting it out again. But if we're not going to go on any further, that's as much as I can say for you tonight. There are things that I could have shown tonight, but I said to a couple of the sisters, I don't think we should show that. Because if you show that and a case does come up, then you're kind of going to be in a little bit more of a weaker position. And especially if nobody comes on in order to, you know, bolster what you people are saying. Because there's a cohort of women that have approached me about this. You understand? If it's not more and we show your hand, really, in terms of that evidence, then you haven't really got a lot of a leg to stand on in court. So, no, we're not just going to go and willy-nilly show things. We will if we have to. If people bring proceedings, then we do. Just like we did with Tony Clark, we did. I've given them all of the evidence. They have it. And we know what's going on with that at the moment. So this guy obviously ain't been following the movement. If no one's got anything to say about the brother, if Moonstar Readings, who came on last week, hasn't got anything else to say, I'm going to try and get on this sister now, because we're going to move into Afra Belly. Leave Kevin one side until we've got a little bit more to say about him. But I will be having a conversation, and don't be surprised if there is a part 2 to this, you know. But the stories I'm hearing coming out of Stockwell Park Estate at his hands is really unacceptable. Really unacceptable. Let's hope they're not true, huh? There's somebody called Karma. Who's this? Oh, okay. I always forget when Killer P comes on and he says his name's Karma, you know. Yes, Killer, before we get to Sister here. Blessed love, Sister Sparjo Holistics. Please be patient with us backstage there, sis. I'm going to come to you in a second. Bless up, Killer P. They're saying it's collaboration between me and you, Killer. What happened to these people?
These people are looking excuses to cover up their self. You get me? I want to address a few things real quick before I go forward. Carla, whoever Carla Petty, whatever her frigging name is,
Who's
that's
Carla?
laying down the same one that's yamming out Kevin's back here at night time while she defending him the way she is, yeah, and telling people about ask me my police record, what happened to children's home. Them something them in done talk already. This is public knowledge. It ain't nothing.
Me and you discussed how you got into a children's home.
No. Don't worry about me and you. Don't worry about me and you. But the world can air it back again because not everyone's been on my page to air when I talk. Kevin, this is addressed to you, you little clown. I asked you, yeah, where did you get my driving license picture from? The live that you done, it never done you no justice. All the idiot girl them on that live, well, on that live, they're like the Kazi Cross. Sherelle them and all the other little girls, the Keisha Moore, all these little girls that you've been using to try and draw me out and set me up. You don't even understand. The game is not played your way, my friend. Me learn from Uno, me grow around Uno can't draw me out. Manners and bear respect to the people that genuinely know me. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm in France, I'm just doing work. Just chilling for 2 seconds, but I got the studio right in front of me about to record. I have no time for these people. But they've been trying to drag people down. Why would you say that I'm calling you as, bro? You didn't molest me. This woman air your name and say, oh. I know me do that. You do that because you mix up with Afra Belly and make me I forgot mention the thing them and call your name and then the woman them react off of that.
Right, that's what I'm talking about.
How comes everybody that acts like they either don't know Kevin or they only know the good version of Kevin? Shame on every single one of Uno. When know me, Patrick, Nathaniel, Knight, and know where we stand for, know where we grow, know where we come from, and know all this story them. I don't have to tell one story. I'm the same person. I'm the same person that they've been styling for the last 5 years, trying to say I'm an informer, brethren. Seeing? Hence what take place at your march, Afua. Seeing? Because I know what going in my background. You see, when it regards to police and farming, that not there in my regime. Big up all the road man who know me. Big up every officer in every prison where me ever touched down. Them know me not do them something there. Kevin, why have you never gone to prison? Kevin, why is it you're telling bad people about your going police station for me? And listen,
killer. Let me just say this, yeah? Because you know where I stand in everything. What I don't want is for him to be able to validate that this is some sort of plot between me and you.
No,
I'm not having
no plot.
I'm not having that.
But it's all of his little followers that he's sending, because it's all the vulnerable women.
They seem to have been there before, even before this happened, these idiots. So I ain't really got time for them, killer.
You don't even know, says work, them I work together. But listen, I'll go back to work. Manners and respect.
Yeah.
Just have to address them, boy. Where you get my driving license number from and picture.
Okay, that's but all right. So you know what? I do want to pick up on that.
Yeah.
Because you told me about that earlier on. Remember, we had a conversation. So you told me about that. And I do want to pick up on that part, actually, because that is about a girl that has been stalking you, like, I mean, on another level. This is what you've told me. And this is what you
know what's going on. That's why I'm so...
What's going to be told by you, that story. But if that image was from a file, which the police now have and have confirmed that she was a stalker doing what she did to you, if that image was from that file, how has it turned up on his poster about me and you? That was very intriguing when you told me that. I thought, wow.
That was very alarming, but it's cool because you don't know, we don't talk everything, you know. We don't talk everything. Remember, I was a victim. The police was arresting me every week until one day they realized, hold on, this can't be him. Because I'm fighting everything. Every time they're coming for me, I'm fighting it. With up online and the police are walking on my house, brethren. I've gone there. I ain't got time to explain nothing. Those that want to be around these little fools, be around the fools. I'm just... Manners and respect. Listen, I'm just keeping it there, so I feel I ain't got time. Those that know me know that my heart's real. My heart's real. I ain't got time. These people that want to play some idiot cat and mouse game. I ain't got time.
Don't let them steal your energy. You go on and do the work.
No, we're good. We're good. Manners and respect. Have a blessed evening.
Bless up, bro.
Oh, I love.
I can't get in the middle of all of that. That runs deep. Do you understand? I was intrigued by that information about this stalker girl, though, because you know that we do feature stalker women here as well. You know, we treat them the same way that we do sexual predators, pedophiles, and all the rest of it, because that's not on. You can't be treating man like that. Why are you stalking the man and wrecking his life? So I was very interested in that side when I heard that. But I don't know these things. There is no conspiracy here. There's, this. I think you're the person who needs mental health evaluation, actually, Kevin Bennett, because you seem to be suffering from some sort of paranoid delusion. There's no conspiracy here. That sounds like psychosis talk to me. There's no conspiracy here. That sounds like schizophrenic talk to me. If we're talking about mental health, there is no conspiracy to bring you down. That sounds like a narcissistic personality trait, because you feel that you are more important than what you are because people are plotting to bring you down. Why would they? Why? As I say, I have no interest. There is no interest. There's no agency in it for me. I didn't grow up around you. I have no past history with you. I have no beef with you. And I didn't grow up with Killer either. You understand? So I'm not embroiled in all of this. Cha, I've laboured the point. Kazi Cross, as for that skettel, you understand me? As for that piece of whatever, we already dealt with you, and you're really trying to beg it on somebody else's platform, thinking you're doing what exactly? What you have done, though, Kazi Cross, because guess what? We know how to track IP addresses now. That's something that we've kind of mastered. We've sort of needed to. But this one seems to think that wherever she sees me, she's going to lick me down. And apparently she doesn't mind going jail for it either. Apparently. Yeah. She doesn't. Kazi Cross, this is on Kevin's live earlier on. Oh, here he is actually. This is him on his live earlier on. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what's going on there. That is what's going on there. She thinks that's what she's going to be able to do. Oh, really? Oh, really? Maybe you can slap down your mum. Maybe she's about my age and you think you can do that to women like myself. Where do you live, Kazi Cross? What's your area? What's your local high street? What are the facilities so that I can make sure that I'm doing my shopping there on a Saturday, that in the off chance that I might bump into you? Is this girl having a laugh, really? And not only that though, Kazi, you've outdone yourself this time, girl, because I will be showing that to the police. We've always had something around me that I can report these things to the police, bearing in mind that I've had so many death threats in the past, but you actually want to harm me, don't you? So we'll deal with that. We'll definitely deal with that when it comes on to that, because you kind of walk around and just terrorize the internet by all accounts, don't you? Unbelievable people. Kazi Cross, Kazi Cross that was shamed and disgraced on this same platform. Now she's popping up. I'm surprised that Kwaku wasn't on it, actually. And then you would have had a full complement, wouldn't you? Right. Afra Belly. Let's get into that one now. Sis, your device is still not connected, so I'm going to have to phone you up and try and do this by phone. Yeah, that's what we're going to have to try and do. But Afra Belly, well. I'm going to call this sister now, and I'm going to try to get her on the phone because it's not going to work otherwise. Let me try and get her on the phone. Nah, still can't get on, sis. Still can't get on. Bear with me one moment, people. Bear with me just. Right, so yeah, sister's device is not connecting, so we're going to get her by phone instead. So Afra Belly is just, Look, since last week's live, people, I have been inundated with women, sisters, different people who know about this woman's trail of destruction. I mean, it's really quite a catalogue of destruction and pain that she has caused these people. Now, let's not forget that I haven't done this woman anything. I've absolutely done her nothing whatsoever. Do you understand? All I did was open my platform to this woman, allow her to have this platform. She meets a brother that is, again, Killer P, on this platform. She doesn't meet him on the platform, actually. She meets him at the last march. And then she decides that she doesn't like this guy because of the way he's spoken to her, rejected her, whatever it is. She asked me to join her in not liking him. I refuse, and she started to troll me ever since. That's the story of Afra Belly. And on top of that as well, she's so barefaced that rather than just accept defeat and accept the fact that you really ought not to be putting yourself in the public domain as anything, because you've really hurt a lot of sisters before you even came to Afua or to the His Time Is Up campaign. You've really hurt a lot of sisters. It is so prolific that if she was a man, we'd all be screaming from the mountaintops right now. We'd all be screaming from the rooftops at how prolific this man is at exploiting women for money, psychologically abusing them. It's just unbelievable. But we're going to hear from a sister who is a victim, of this Afra Belly woman, and she's going to give you a lot more history and context than I can, and then I'll just pick up on a few more other points. Blessed love, Sister Sarja. I'm so sorry you couldn't get into the live, sis.
No worries. Everything for a reason.
Can you guys hear, sister? Can I just make sure everyone's hearing you really clearly? Put up a 1 if you can hear the sister clearly. Yeah, that's her on my phone. Got her on the phone there. Can you hear the sister clearly, people? Let me know if you can hear sister clearly.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, they can hear you, sis. That's great stuff. Yes, my sister. So tell us, first of all, how it is that you and I even became in contact in terms of you seeing the live or whatever happened. Were you aware of her being on the platform before that or whatever?
Well, basically what happened, my mum sent me the Instagram post that you put up about, I can't even call her Afra Belly. I have to call her by what I know as Linnea Heru.
Mm-hmm.
We've deducted that she has multiple personality disorder, because I don't understand, even at this late stage, even up until today, to a couple of hours ago, this woman is still opening up pages on social media and posing as other people and talking in the third person like we do not know it's her, going on and just carrying on your same post. I can't. This woman, yeah. I don't even know what to say. She's accusing people of being mentally unstable and calling them mental health. But how is it that you're opening up multiple platforms and talking in the third person like we don't know it's actually you? It's laughable at this point, honestly. And the fact of the matter is that, one can't be right and everybody's wrong. Do you understand? I had forgotten about this woman when I had to interact with her, and it's just got progressively worse. From when I met her initially, she's very charming and she comes across as very plausible. But how I got to know about this, my mum sent me a tag, and when she sent it to me, I just basically felt like, well, the chickens have come home to roost. There was going to be a day that this was going to happen because she's been doing this for years. This is her MO. This is like how she waits. Like how people will get up and drink coffee. This is it for her. It's just normal. She normalizes trauma. She's normalized trolling people. She's normalized extorting people. She's normalized manipulating people. She's normalized using her vagina to manipulate men. And when she doesn't get what she wants, that's when she turns funky. How I got to know about Linnea was Did she approach me? I think she approached me initially to ask me about yoni eggs. Anybody who knows me knows that I've been doing this work, I want to say, since about 2014-15. I started my brand. I make and create products for women, and I specialize in intimate care products that I hand make myself. And basically, she approached me about collaborating with her on her platform, which I begin to realize now it's non-existent, because she talks it up like she's got this huge, massive platform. Right, that what other women can join on, and that we can kind of do collaborations where we can sell our online products. Yeah, I'm always a bit wary about that, because what I've found in my experience, I'm better off working alone. I've tried working with others, including Linnea, and it just doesn't work for whatever reason. So anyway, when she approached me, I think I tried to get her kind of verified through somebody else, through a mutual friend. And this mutual friend said so much positive, raving things about her, because, it's important to do background checks. So I thought, okay, no problem, I'll go along with it. So we spoke on the phone and so on, and she was talking about her wanting to get the eggs, and she wanted to buy wholesale, and I explained to her how much it would be, and then she was like, she realized that she couldn't afford it, which is fine. So along in the line, everything just came, it just hit me today. And this is going to sound really funny when I say it, but I don't mean to be disrespectful. But at the time when she told me, I never looked at it as like I just saw that she just didn't know. So when I first started speaking to her, she was like, you know what, I actually need a yoni egg for my own personal healing journey. And she said to me, listen, I've been so desperate to kind of heal myself, that she took a tumble stone. If you know anything about crystals, she took a tumble stone, which is just basically a polished crystal. Yeah. And she inserted it. She told me she inserted it into her vagina, hoping that would give her what she needed in terms of healing, rather than, because she didn't have access to a yoni egg. She took a tumble stone, and inserted it in her vagina. Now the thing is, what she inserted to her vagina was a piece of moonstone. If anybody knows anything about crystals, there's certain crystals that are not for internal use. Yeah. Moonstone is one of them. It's an amazing crystal for the divine feminine, but it's not to be used for internal use. So when she told me about it, I immediately felt like, oh gosh, this woman really doesn't know what she's doing. And I just went into work mode. So I said to her, okay, don't worry. I gifted her. I came all the way from my house in Neeson, because I was living in Neeson at that time, and she lived in Ladbroke Grove. I came bearing gifts. For the first time I met her, I gifted her a yoni egg, and I gifted her a bottle of goddess elixir. Not that money is anything, but remember, this is the first time I've meeting her, and if we want to put put money on it, that would have cost the average person £95. Right. And I gifted it to her before I've even met this lady, because when she told me that, I felt like, no, this is not right. So we struck up this kind of friendship, and I remember we was talking about working together. And I remember her saying to me at the time, when people find out, it's like it's like attention by any means necessary, whether it's positive or negative. She said to me, when people find out that the two of us that are working together, they're going to be vexed, what that was about, whatever. Anyway, I remember her having an event. It was a yoga event, and it was like in Houston, and she invited me to come along to be able to sell my products there. And what she didn't know was, at the time, I was going through a really, really tough time, and it was like I didn't know if I could actually make it, but I thought, I can't let this woman down. So I made it all the way. It was a wonderful event. There was other women there that I met along the way that I'm still in contact with. That happened. So then after that happening, she was so excited, she asked me if we could do a collaboration of an event. I can't even remember what the event was we were supposed to do. And I just said, at the time, I thought, yep, it's great. You're doing the yoga, it's about womb activation. Everything will work in synchronicity, no problem. But we hadn't set a date. We kind of just mentioned it and just moved on. Anyway, I remember she contacted me and told me that she was gifted some money, and she took the money and went on a trip to Bali, right? And she was away for a while. And in between that time, another sister approached me about doing a collaboration. So I used to have monthly workshops at Ank Wellbeing when it was based in Shepherd's Bush at the end of every single meeting. So me and this other lady, she's a birth worker amongst many other things, and she does pregnancy massage, etc., etc. So I thought, you know what, it would be really good for you to come along and talk to these ladies about, all the different things and so on and so forth. And she did, and it was a wonderful event. Now, I feel like Linnea came back, because it was all over my social media platforms. I feel that Linnea came back, saw that I did this work with this lady beforehand, and she just saw red. She contacts me and says to me, what's happening? This is how she approached me, not hi, how you doing? What's happening with the event that we're supposed to be doing? So I said to her, it's still in the pipeline. We just haven't put a date to it. And then she started to tell me about, well, she plans, when she's doing her events, she plans them a year in advance, and that her schedule's too full now. She was basically reprimanding me. And I'm thinking, where does this woman get off? Anyway, we got through that. But it was a bit of push and pull, and I was thinking, like, who is this woman chatting to like that? Like, who? Wait, hold on. Did she give birth to me or something? Who's she talking to? So I contacted the mutual friend, and I said, yo, what to she? This is what she's carrying on with. The mutual friend blew up at me. You'll be telling me that I'm behaving childish and this and that and da da da. I'm taking it out of proportion. But I knew what I felt at the time when she contacted me, right? Left it at this. Anyway, a few months down the line, I knew of a sister who's now passed on. She was doing deliveries for organic food deliveries of organic fruits and stuff, like home deliveries. So I just sent it out to everybody. It was a sister that I thought would be interested in just to support this lady in her business. Right. I made the mistake of sending it to Linnea. She sent me back some feisty message, or did she call me telling me about, I'm a bit surprised that you're contacting me, like all uptight and carrying on with foolishness. And I thought to myself, hold on a second, you can't see behind what you seem to deem as me not doing what you want. Just to support the sister, you still want to have an axe to grind with me, but there's no axe to grind. So when she phones me, I'm relaxing in the bath, just having a peaceful time. This woman rings me up or sends me a voice note. I can't even remember. It was that long ago. We're going back 2017, something like that. Along them lines. In fact, what I forgot to tell you, in between that time, actually, I started doing my yoni egg workshops. And the first one I ever did, it was a roadblock. And she was invited to come. She came along. And a friend of mine, Ola, offered, out of the goodness of his heart, to come and video the whole thing, right? No problem. He came in there, he videoed the whole thing. Everybody was fine with this man except Linnea, right? So I know what he's like. I know what Ola's like. He must have just seen whatever Linnea was carrying on with, because I was busy talking to people, doing what I had to do. So I was occupied. But what happened, he's about 6 foot something, and he will stand over you and he will try and intimidate you if he can, but he doesn't mean it in any kind of funny way, but it rubbed Linnea up the wrong way. So I remember after the event, I think the next day she called me and told me that how I wasn't supposed to have men at the event, blah, just telling me, and I'm thinking, but hold on a second, whose event is this? Is this mine or yours? You got invited to come here. Like, who are you telling what to do? Like, really, sis? Telling me that how I shouldn't have had other people. My mum's best friend's daughter started to make hair products, and I said to her, and she wanted to kind of get it out, then she was a bit nervous. So I said to her, come along and see what you can do. Because for me, it takes nothing away from me. I can share the platform with somebody else like that. It takes nothing away from me, right? So she's telling me that how I shouldn't have had any other person on my it should have just been me and this and that. And I just listened. I just listened. I put that in the back pocket. So again, she phones me up or she messages me telling me that, basically I've got the audacity, in so many words, to send her a message after, how she felt about the event, giving me chapter and verse, sending me some long-ass voice notes that were all how many different minutes long. So after I listened to the first one, then I realised she sent me a next one. I must have said to her, you know something, Linnea? I said, I'm just having a moment to myself today. I'm soaking in the bath. I'm enjoying myself. I'm doing my self-care. This is not something that I choose to get into, right? She's sending me some long-ass voice notes that I must have sent her a message and said to me, ignore this with the greatest respect. I can't listen to you ranting on and on and on. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. I left it at that. But something in my spirit said to me, because that day I had to go to Ladbroke Grove, and something in my spirit said to me, I'm going to buck up with this woman, because I'm realizing that this woman is actually unhinged. Anyway, I'm walking through Ladbroke Grove. What happens? I buck up with her in the middle of Portobello, right? This woman starts dressing me down in the street, telling me about myself and this and that and blah, 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 and what not. So as I'm talking to her, I'm realizing we're standing in the road. So I'm saying to her, let's come off the road and stand on the pavement if you want to chat. This woman is so innocent, she can't hear what I'm saying. She's just going on and on and on and on and telling me, how dare I tell her that I'm not going to listen to her voice note. What gives me the right to not listen to her, and that I don't respect her artistry, I don't respect this. She was going on with foolishness, telling me about how she ain't got time to stand up here and talk to me. She's got an event to go and do at the such and such high commission. All of this fluff and nonsense that she was carrying on with. And I'm standing there and I'm thinking to myself, I'm really dealing with a mad woman, you know? Anyway, that ended. And I found my friend Speaker, years down the line, had issues with Linnea. Anyway, I found her. I said, yo, sis, guess what just happened to me? So when I was telling her, she was just like, boy, you know, we spoke about it, left it. Next thing you know, Linnea sends me a text message to tell me, oh, sis, I really don't want to have argument with you. You look so beautiful today, and blah, 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 blah. But for me, you've shown me who you are. I don't need to have nothing more to do with you because you're unstable. Around that time, I think a couple months later, it was Grenfell, and she was big and went out with this Grenfell. She had some kind of healing thing going on, but it wasn't really about healing other people. It was just about showing off herself. Because everywhere I was going around in Ladbroke Grove, I'm seeing posters of Linnea's healing, whatever it is, plastered all over Ladbroke Grove. These people have just been through the biggest amount of trauma. Right?
Wow.
And you're there on camera, people going on like to say you're there to help the people. Those who really know about healing, and when you're there to help the people and you're focused on helping the people, it's not anything that's for public show.
That's disgusting.
You go, you do your work, you come out and you go about your business, right? So I'm realizing that this woman is really taking advantage of the situation and just trying to show up herself. She's been manipulative, you know, and she's been insincere. I saw it for what it was, but it's not my business to say it. Then another time, I remember she had this young lady called Sharifa the Energy. I think she's Pakistani. She had this woman standing in front of the camera talking, but you could see this Linnea had bullied this woman into standing in front of this camera talking, and Linnea standing behind her, and it's like she's feeding her and prodding her, but it was not good. And I'm looking at this woman as she's talking on the camera, and she's got the fear of God in her eyes, and I'm thinking, rah, this is how this woman picks her victims. Do you understand what I mean? So that I left it at that. I've gone on the Grenfell silent march now with my friend. Next thing you know, I see Linnea there. So she sees me and she gives me a compliment about something. And I think I just gave her a flat response. So when she moved, my friend said to me, Sergio, what was that about? I said, what? She said, your body language. It told me everything that I needed to know because I know you. She said, you wasn't rude, but there's something. So I told her what happened. She said to me, what? She said, right, that's the reason why you reacted the way you did. So I just decided to distance myself from this woman because I realized this woman, I'm not dealing with the full ticket. The same friend that I told you that told me that she was such a great person and already cussed me up and told me what she told me, I never said nothing. I just left them to it. A couple months later, didn't I get a phone call from her? He said to me, Roger, I owe you a huge apology, you know? I said, why? What happened? She said the exact same thing that you told me that Linnea did to you. This is what she did to me. This is what she did to me. I just listened. And then she said to me, she had to confess that she sat there with Linnea, chatting me off, telling me that how they felt that, what did they say about me? That I'm bitter or something because I didn't have no child and I didn't have no man. That's how they're making a summary of me as a woman. The fact that I don't have no man makes me less than, and because I don't have no child makes me less than. When she told me that, I didn't react, you know, Afua. I just listened because I thought to myself, wow, You see me, I don't put out my business like that.
So let me get this straight, sis. Let me get this straight. So basically, a sister that had previously been manipulated by Linnea and joined with her against you, later came to see Linnea, what you were saying about Linnea, for herself, and became a victim herself. And that's when she came and apologized to you.
That's when she apologized, and that's when she had to tell me that what she had said about me.
Right, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I just sat and I just listened. You know, when you just think to yourself, rotted. It's good to let people talk, you know. It's good, and it did not faze me, not one bit, because I know who I am. That having a man doesn't define me as a person. Having a child does not define me as a person. Those kind of things don't. It's not off a duck's back, to be honest with you. But it just made me realize what kind of people it was that I was dealing with. Do you understand? And I forgave her, you know. I forgave her because I understand her backstory. But as for Linnea, you know. Anyway. Moving on years later, I get an approach, and I'm not going to mention this lady's name because I realize that how I ended up being a so-called victim of Linnea was because I did not do what she wanted me to do when she tried to bully me. I refused.
That sounds like my experience of her. Yeah. Yeah,
I won't be bullied by you. You know, if I don't do what you want, I'm not going to concede to your will, yeah, and that's all that is. And I'm not going to put people. I'm not the kind of person that is going to allow you to go to somebody else and bully them. You know. Anyway, this lady approached me. I think it was at the beginning of the new year, and she said to me, "Listen, I want to do this kind of challenge, you know, and so on and so forth, and I would like you to front the challenge." And I said to her, well, I wasn't really up for it, to be honest. If I'm honest with you, I wasn't really up for it because it wasn't really my forte. It's not something that I would do. But she kind of bent my arm and she spoke about, this is what we need and this is the idea that I have and blah, 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 blah. And I remember her mentioning to me that she wanted to do, I can't remember what it was that she wanted to do with Linnea. And I'm not going to spoil somebody else's business because when I went to Linnea's yoga, she was very good at what she did and I really enjoyed it. So I said to her, you know what, go, you know. I said, because she's very good at, when she does the yoga, she's very good at what she does, right? And she said to me, she said, there's something about her that me and my friend just felt like our spirits didn't sit well. I said, well, put it this way, sis, I've had my own experience with her. That's one story, but I will not disrespect her and say that she's not good at what she does. I won't do that. So I would say go and experience it for yourself. But she said to me, nah, sis, she said, from you've just said that, it's just confirmed to me everything I want to know. I don't want to work with this woman. Yeah? Not knowing, I didn't realize that this woman had gone and looked at Linnea's challenge, whatever her whatever I Love My Room challenge, and kind of pitched this idea to me. So she said to me, okay, let's do it, but do it your own, do it in your own way. So I said to her, it's later that I found out that. So she grabbed my arm and asked me to do it, and I did it. And then halfway through the challenge, I get a message. Is it a message? Yeah, I get a message from Linnea saying to me that how she's accusing me of stealing her ideas and this and that and this and that and this and that. So when she's told me, I said to her, listen, she sent me a message via Instagram, but I had blocked her on my other platform, so she sent it from one of her many aliases. I can't see what Linnea is doing because I blocked her everywhere. Do you understand what I'm saying? So she said to me, you've stolen my this is my intellectual property and my Oris and my this, my Iba. She's using Orisha and Ifa to tell me that that's what told her that I was thieving from her and other people came along and told me. So when it was, I said, listen, this wasn't my idea. I was approached to do this and I went along with it and it wasn't really my idea. So she was like, who is it that did it? And with the energy that she came to with me, I told her, I said, I'm not telling you anything. I need to speak to this person first and find out wagwan. But she insisted and I said to her, I'm not going to do that. I'm not having this conversation with you. And I left it and I blocked her from that platform. Now, because she didn't get what she wanted, she went on a tirade on all her Instagram posts and she accused me of stealing her intellectual property, this, that and all the other. And I never knew about this. What happened? My mum called me and said to me, yo, what's this? you know, because it was somebody else that saw it and said, listen, this woman has got your daughter's name in her mouth, and what she's talking don't make no sense, because the Sergeant that we know don't move like that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it got so bad. Like when I saw it on the platforms, like I was vexed at the time, yeah, and I responded, and it was unprofessional of me, but I was incensed at the time, because when it comes with, there's one thing that I do is I stay in my lane. I don't follow nobody's thing what they're doing. I stay in my lane, and I'm very purposeful about that, because the one thing that I don't want to do, be accused of, is copying anybody's thing, because I know what that feels like when it's been done to me. It's not nice. I stay in my lane and I mind my business. I do my own thing, and that upsets some people. That really does. Of course, I want to be the best at what I do. Who doesn't? Only a fool would want to be the best at what they do, but it's not to the detriment of any other sister. There's other sisters that I know in this world who do exactly the same thing as me, and I've supported their business because I think what they're doing is great, and I will share it on my platform. Anybody who knows me, has been following me for long enough, can attest to that. I don't hate. If I buy something else from another person and I think it really works, I will tell you about it, because it takes nothing away from me. Do you understand what I mean? Mm-hmm. Anyway, that happened. It really affected me, because I'm very passionate about what I do. I live and I breathe in my business. So it really kind of, I felt some type of way that I was being accused of that. It made me, because I remember my mum saying to me, she said, don't let this woman make you feel some type of way. I said, but it's not a nice feeling, you know? And I remember at the time I had to go to Ankh Wellbeing. So I went over to Ankh Wellbeing, I sat there and I was just venting. And I never told Sister Ivy who I was talking about. And then she said to me, wait, hold on a second, Sergeant. Are you talking about Linnea? I said to her, how do you know? She said, well, don't make this woman come and chat off her mouth and tell you foolishness, because let me tell you something, she's the biggest thief. I said, what do you mean? She said to me, there was a time when we used to do my art in motion, yeah? And basically, Linnea, you know, offered to help us with, I think, some of like the admin or something, but she didn't have a computer at the time. So we let her use the shop's laptop, and we gave it to her, right? When we needed the laptop and we're asking this woman back for the laptop, the woman's coming off with feisty vibes and carrying on with foolishness. She said to me, to this day, Linnea has not returned this laptop. So she said, you see the day when you had your workshop here and Linnea walked through the door, she said she came in all sheepishly because she knew that really and truly she had no business walking in this shop, because she still had our property. She had to beg me to meet her, for me to allow her to come into your workshop. And I said to her, I didn't even know any of this was going on. She said, you didn't need to know. She said, don't listen to her when she's telling you about this is her intellectual property. She probably thieved it from somewhere else. She said she's the biggest thief. She said, don't listen to anything she's saying, Sergeant. Continue doing what you're doing. Don't watch her. Yeah. And I left it at that. Right? I've moved on. This woman went on Facebook. Anybody, when she opened up her platforms and started dissing me, anybody that even seemingly seemed to be on my side, boy, they'd get cussed out too. Well, I can see you've had a conversation with Sergio, haven't you? She'd cussed them out and carrying on with stinkness. Anyway, that blew over. Moving on, 2020.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, my friend I see she's doing some kind of work with Linnea. So I saw it and I thought, I'm not going to say one word, because everybody's got to learn for themselves, right? I'm not saying a word, because if I say anything, it's going to seem like I'm bitter and I'm a hater because of what's happened to me. I will say nothing. I will mind my business, because it's got nothing to do with me. Mm-hmm. I left it. Months later, she contacts me just as a lockdown happened, a couple of days in. She said, sis, I've got something that I need to tell you. I already knew what it was. You know what I mean? So I said, I just humored her. I said, what is this? She felt some type of way to tell me, but I'm not in control of anybody. You're a big person. You can do what you want. Do you understand? But I just knew it wasn't going to end good, right? So she said to me, so I decided to do some work with Linnea. And she kind of laughed, and I laughed back at her. And I said to her, listen, sis, I said, I saw it, you know. I saw it already, but what I realised, it had nothing to do with me. It wasn't my business, so I did not say anything. I had to leave you to go on that journey for yourself. When she started to tell me all the things that Linnea had done, how she manipulated her, money that oh my God. That's
a recurring theme, isn't it? Like her taking people's offering people goods, taking their money, and then not really coming through. Like, she is a thief.
Yeah, or she sees you doing something and she wants you to be part of her group just to say she's the big all I am, Linnea, I'm the greatest, yeah. And then she never delivers. And then when you get on her platform, she's got you like some little boy. She's got you like a minion, and she's chatting to you like she pushed you out. Right. You understand what I mean? So when she said, and I know my friend Sika, Sika's not like me. Sika will go the legal route. She ain't doing all that chatting off and going on. She's going the legal route. Right? So she ended up sending this woman a cease and desist because I didn't even see all the things that she was saying about Sika online. I just saw the backstory. I just saw when Sika was saying that, you know, she was really trying to hold it down. She really didn't want to be chatting her off and disrespecting her in the public, because that's just not her style. But it got too much. I think it got too much, and she was talking about it on social media. And the thing is, when she must have told some of her friends, or when they saw that she was going to work with Linnea, the very same person that I said to you had to come back to me and tell me that how, you know, Linnea treated her exactly what Linnea did to me, she did to her, and how she had to come and confess to me that she was chatting me. She warned her, and another one of her friends warned her and said to her, remember what she did to Sarjo when she tried to shut down the whole of Sarjo's holistics. Remember what she did to her, sis? Be very careful. But, you know, she decided to, you know, just thought, you know, let me give this woman a chance. Let me not go off what hearsay and what other people have gone through. Let me give this woman a chance, yeah? What she went through with Linnea was a million times worse. I got off quite lightly if I actually think about it, because I don't know how it got shut down. I think it got too far to the point where I remember at the time Linnea had gone to my mum's house to buy a piece of jewelry, right? So my mum thought, you know, she got on quite well with her. So she thought, you know what, as an elder, let me try and chat to this woman and try and mediate. Because my mum spoke to me about it. She will never encourage me if she feels that I'm wrong. She'll always tell me the truth. You understand? So she thought, okay, as an elder, let me try and see if I can just mediate between these two and see if we can resolve this situation. Yeah? Because what my mum told Linnea, she approached and said, look, if you're going to accuse my daughter of all of these things, you have to give her a chance to speak up and defend herself.
Of course.
And Linnea said to her, no, well, she said, well, she's blocked me. So my mum asked me, did I block her? I said, hell yeah, I did, because this woman is not mentally right. She's not giving me a chance. I've asked her to give me a chance to chat to this woman before we go out there, you know, but she doesn't want to be patient. She's on the warpath. I'm not dealing with this mad woman. I'm not dealing with her, because she's not, after my experience with her, I thought, no, I'm not dealing with her. There's nothing that I'm going to say to her that she's going to listen to. Forget that. You understand? So my mum said that when she tried to mediate and she realised that this woman was starting to attack her and get feisty with her, my mum said, you know what, that's what it said. She said that, I'm out, and left her to it, right? So the next thing I saw, I think on social, because I didn't realise I was still friends with her on Facebook, she's putting up posts, because I thought, let me just shut her and just leave it. But then she started to put up posts about even the mum, you know, is coming to come and talk to me and being disrespectful.
She's very bright and out of order.
She's very bright and out of order, right? I messaged her and I told her, I said, listen, let me tell you something. I know you don't have a good relationship with your mother, so you don't understand a certain level of loyalty and a certain way that you don't talk about people's mums, yeah? I said, my mum's old enough to be your mum, because I'm older than Linnea, yeah? I said, don't disrespect it, because you'll see a different side to me. I said, you keep going on talking about how I teach your intellectual property. I know from facts, yeah? I know from facts, because I sat in your house and I listened to you tell me. I remember I was telling you about a young lady that started her business making these yoni thrones, and I used to work with her along the way. Emma Akko, her name is, Mama Yun. She started to make these little yoni steam thrones, and nobody else was doing it at the time. It was a very basic thing, but she did it. Nobody else was doing it. But what happened was, when I actually bought one from her, and the second, and I think the second one, I won one from her. But I could see with what she was doing, there was things that she needed to fix. You understand? And I told her, the second one that yoni steam seat that I won from her, when I received it, the material, where she had put, you know, sewn the material together, she had still left staples in it, metal staples. Now, if you know anything about yoni steaming, there's no metal that needs to be near your vagina, because it will burn it. You understand? So I told her, I said, sis, you've left staples inside this thing. And I made the mistake of saying, but then what happened is the sister tried to tell a fib, a little white lie, and say to me that how it was her assistant who, you know, never took out the staples from the cushion, when I know she's the one who sews them. And not even that looks bad. If it happens, you just apologize. You don't throw your if the so-called assistant under the bus. You don't do that. Do you understand what I mean? But I must have been talking to Lane. I said, listen to what this is. So she started to tell me a backstory about this young lady. Anyway, the next thing she said to me, and I said to her, you know, I advised, because I remember advising the young lady at the time. She was charging, I think she went from selling them for £50 and she jumped up to £70 in no time. And I told her, I said, sis, I wouldn't do that if I was you. I said, it's better. I said, take the price back down to £50. You will get more. Don't be in a hurry to make money. The money will come. I said, it's about integrity. Don't be greedy. I said to her, take your time. I said, sell those chairs at the £50 that you've done it. Trust me, you'll get more money in rather than putting up on a higher price. People won't buy it because it's not like you've added anything to it. It's the exact same thing. You've just jacked up the price and you haven't even given the thing a chance to land. She listened, you know?
Okay.
Anyway, and I was explaining that. And I was telling Linnea this, you know, you just talk about business. Linnea turned around and said to me, you know something, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to get my daughter to just copy off, to rip off this young lady's design and get her to make the Yoni steam seats and sell them myself, get Nefanika to sell them. And I thought, wow. So you think that it's okay to just thief somebody else's idea and just
try to leave her daughter's name out of it, sis, if you can.
Pardon?
Try and leave her daughter's name out of it if you can, sis. Yeah?
Okay. Yeah. So I thought to myself, okay, that's what you're going to do. When I heard that, you know, it's like alarm bells go off, but I just held that in my back pocket. So when I approached her and I said to her, don't talk about my mum like that. Don't disrespect, because all she's trying to do is just to be a mediator because nobody else is doing it and trying to squash this as elders should do. Yeah. I said, don't do it. I said, because you don't really want me to go around telling people about the fact that you was ready to rip off this other. Yes, she's made some classic errors, but it doesn't mean that you just go and rip off this girl's design and put it out there. I said, don't make me have to tell people that from your own mouth that you told me that you was going to do that. After I said that to her, I got silence. So I moved on with my life. So now, when my friend Sika first told me about what was happening with her, I was just like, wow. The rabbit hole just went deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And I was just like, wow, this woman is really a demon. Really a demon, you know. So when she was sitting there, I remember imagine you're supposed to be doing tarot readings on your Facebook Live. Yeah, that's what people have come to your Facebook Live for, tarot readings. But yet you're sitting talking about this whole experience. Yeah, talking about me, talking about what happened, and then she mentioned the mutual friend, yeah, of ours. And I thought, okay, so you guys are back in cahoots doing lavish and chatting off your mouths about me again. I said, no, this is not on. So I contacted the sister. I said, sis, what is this that I'm hearing? You know, that this is going on. You guys are still chatting. And she said, sis, it never went like that, you know. She said, when Lene had the issue, she called me and she spoke to me. And I told her, go and talk to Sarjo. I never sent her to come and attack you. She said, I'm so sorry, sis, because I never sent her on that mission to go and do that. I said to her to go and talk to you. Do you understand? I didn't realize that she was going to come to you with that level of venom. I said, that's exactly what she did. That's exactly what she did. So
basically, sis, her MO is to, she's like a succubus, isn't she? So she basically attaches herself. She attaches herself and latches herself onto causes and individuals that she feels will benefit her in some way. And when she feels that she's got what she needs for it in terms of supply, she then gaslights them. She's a classic narcissist. That's all it is, really. She's just a common, dirty old narcissist. That's what it is. And she thinks she's clever. I want to move on very quickly, sis, because it's clear to me that I've not just spoken to you. I've spoken to a lot of sisters this week, since last week's live, and a couple of the sisters that you're speaking about as well. And a clear pattern of sociopathic behavior. What I find interesting with her, and even that Kevin Bennett earlier on, and Sherelle and the Kazi Crosses and all the rest of them, they cannot bring somebody on who's walked with me, who knows me, yeah, apart from Raspet, of course, but we all know where the land lies with him, who's going to be able, and even he can't evidence anything that he's saying. He's a liar like the rest of them. But none of them can actually bring a testimony. When they say what they say, they just make it all up. Do you understand what I'm saying? They can't verify anything. But time and time again, what we hear is people that have been affected. And you can prove this, especially the sister that's got the cease and desist. You've got the screenshots. We've seen all of that. We don't care to show them here today. But the language with her, what I wanted to make a point was... Go ahead, sis.
What Sika did was smart. What she was smart, she kept a document. She's got a file, because she even said it on your post. She said, "I've still got the file with everything. I kept everything. But if any time she opens up her mouth, I've got something to say."
Exactly.
I just think it's just it's unreal that this woman, even after everything that we've said, she's still on your post talking in the third person.
She's not the first one to try that. She wants to make it look like she's got supporters, because the sad old thing doesn't have anybody defending her and validating what the rubbish that she talks about. So she's got to produce these multiple accounts in order to match her multiple personalities, of course. You know, and then actually try and turn herself into a victim as if everyone's getting on at you. No one's getting on at you, Linnea. At the end of the day, you took set on me. She took set on me because she wanted me to join her argument with Killer P. From there, I've become the devil incarnate. You didn't know that when you was on the platform.
That sounds about right.
You didn't know that when you was on the platform, that I was all of these things. You're an idiot, is what you are. You know, you're not very bright. You're very not. You're not bright at all. There's nothing worse than an intelligent dunce. You understand what I'm saying? It's just pathetic. Nobody troubled this woman. No one came for you. You just had your personality disorder glitch, and you decided that we became the enemy. And then we're supposed to just sit back and take all of that. None of it is factual. None of it is factual. It's all in her own head. I wasn't there in the argument with you and Killer P, and I actually believe his version of it. How about that? I believe him. And you're so incensed that I should automatically believe a brother. And it's not about automatic, because God only knows. Just like myself, there's very few people that are coming forward with evidence for what they say about him, from what I can see, especially with this last set of stuff. So at the end of the day, you're all in the same category. Like I said, they need to join the Kevin Bennett Club, because he's just set one up. In fact, donate to his thing. All the money that you scam Afra Belly from the sisters with your predatory behavior, you can go and put it into Kevin Bennett's GoFundMe, because you've been hurt too, haven't you, according to you? They turn themselves into victims, the Sherelles. They're all in the same club. But we can forgive Sherelle to a point, because at least Sherelle is certified, diagnosed, and even owns her mental illness at times. But this lot want to try to give themselves some kind of kudos, some sort of efficacy, and make themselves plausible. And they, again, the succubus mentality where they use the healing of the community that's so needed to hide. It's unbelievable.
Do you know what's really sad? When I was reading the comments in your comment section, right, I remember one lady was saying that, you know, be careful of what you're accusing her of, because I know the sister and she comes across as blah, blah, blah. And that's when I commented, you know, I had to say something and say, nah, this is what is actually happening, you know, with this sister. She comes across as really, really plausible, and this is how she does to manipulate people. And what happened, what got me was that when she said that you need to be very careful, when she said to you that calling her a Jezebel, but they don't read. You said a Jezebel spirit. You
Absolutely.
never called her a Jezebel. People don't read. Right. And not only that, I came in and followed it through, and I said, well, actually, if we're talking about name calling here, she's the very, because I watched that it was a live she did. She sat on one lady that I think I mentioned this, one lady that she tried to manipulate, inveigled herself into this woman's yard, so she's living up in this woman's yard, right? This woman, I think maybe she was teaching her yoga or something like this, and this lady must have come into her own and had this idea that she wanted to put out, right? So she's gone to Linnea and said to Linnea, look, this is what I want to do and I want to put it out. Linnea turns around and tells her that she's not ready yet. The next thing you know, this woman catches Linnea either on live or talking to somebody, the very idea that she pitched to her is what Linnea was pitching to other people. Yet she's up in this woman, she's inveigled herself up into this woman's yard. So when a woman's put a boundary up and said no more, Linnea's on live talking about, not even calling the woman by her name, you know. She's calling her and the prostitute. Every other word is prostitute, 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 prostitute. So when people are talking about you calling her a Jezebel spirit, do you actually know who it is that you're actually dealing with?
Right.
Because she don't hold back her tongue to call people out their name and calling this woman a prostitute and this and that. You inveigled yourself into this woman's yard. You don't have nowhere to live. What? Do you understand what I'm saying? So people shouldn't really talk and minimize other people's experience of this woman. This is what makes me laugh. Don't minimize everybody else's experience, because let me tell you, the same thing goes for me. One person will meet me and tell you that I'm a wonderful person. Another person will meet me and tell you that I'm a mega bitch. I'm all of those things. It really depends on the energy that you bring me to is what you're gonna get. If you're cool with me, I'm cool with you. If you start acting a fool, I'm gonna show you that.
Absolutely.
You're not gonna take me for that.
Yeah.
So whatever is a person's experience of me, believe every single one of them, because I'm capable of being flexible enough to meet you at that point. Do you understand? It really does depend. It really depends. So for me, yes, you might know her and you might know her to be a blessed person, but don't minimize anybody else's experience of her.
Absolutely.
Because you don't know what face. Like I said, she coming like James McAvoy from Split, multiple personality disorder.
But that's the thing, isn't it? You've sorry to cut you, sis, but you've made a really good point there, because you know, don't minimize somebody else's experience of another individual. So I was approached. There is a page on Instagram that is completely dedicated to Linnea and her crimes, right?
Yeah, I think I sent it to you.
I've had it sent to me by lots of people, but I was originally sent it when Linnea first came onto the platform. You can find it on Instagram. I would encourage everybody to go over there and see the horror. It's at Linnea_Heru on Instagram. Okay.
Right.
And one of the stories that's come out of that, because I actually spoke to Linnea about it. I approached her about it. Okay. I approached her about it. And she said that it was some kind of, I can't remember. She said it was somebody called Bayoush who had set it up, and Bayoush was jealous of her, or it was some kind of cover story. I didn't really buy the story at the time, to be fair. I thought this is actually a lot of information about one person. How true is this? Because what you'll find with my trolls, they tend to repeat themselves with the same regurgitated information. It's just a few little scraps of lies that they've concocted, and they all sort of share the same thing, like my credentials. You know, and you heard Kevin Bennett with all of that tonight. It's usually like that. It's patchy. It can't be verified. They're just chatting rubbish. But with this, it was so detailed that when she said what she said, she must think people was born big. I already had a side eye for her with this, but I didn't use it to try to judge her or treat her any differently now, or just take it up. Do you understand what I'm saying? But as things have grown, and as she's shown her dirty colours, as they say in Jamaica, all of it is coming together. So this young man, there's a post here of this young man, and his name is Kioma, isn't it?
It's sad. It's sad. It's so sad.
His name is Kioma, and on this platform, on this thing that she's got going on, this Instagram page, there's a whole lot. I can't even put all of it up here. There's so much atrocities that this woman has perpetrated, mainly on her own sisters. That's why she's up here again this week, because she's behaving like any perpetrator man that she says she stands against, and she talks about feminine womanhood and, you know, the power of the womb and all of that stuff. You know, classic. She's no different to a Christian pastor that hides behind the cross. This is what they do. What is wrong with these people? How dare you take the principles of our ancestors and fast with it like this against your own black women? You're a disgrace.
She's
Desecrated it
because for people like me, for people like me and many other sisters out there who are actually doing healing room work, you make people give us a side eye that we're charlatans and we're just out here trying to manipulate people's trauma and to take advantage of their trauma. Is disgusting. It's disgusting, it's low vibrational, it's low hanging fruit, it's desperate. I don't even know what other words it uses. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
Other women out there who are actually doing the work, who are doing real work, you give us a bad name.
I'm sorry, sis. Sorry to cut you. I'm just picking up on one of these comments. The Great Honor and Prosper says Kev doesn't deserve this. He has helped the community deal with trauma. No disrespect, Afua, but you're wrong for this. How am I wrong? Wait there, sis. How am I wrong, the Great Honor and Prosper? And please jump on and tell me how I'm wrong. We'll have a conversation. But how am I wrong if there is a myriad of sisters coming forward telling me that this man, when he wasn't using his real name, which is Kevin Bennett, when he was called Kid and he was running around with another individual called Play in Stockwell Park Estate back in the day, that he was terrorizing little girls and making them sell drugs for him, and all the rest of it. If they are saying that, why is it that they can't have a voice too? No one has ever said, actually, I've not been told anything about when he's changed his life now and becoming. I'm saying that when it comes on to these brothers that want to reinvent themselves, why are they leaving such a bloody path behind them and then professing to help the community and help other sisters? Do you know what this brother's doing? When there was obviously some women here that you haven't helped who say that you have hurt them. That's what I'm saying.
And the thing,
I don't choose this man.
Why are you leaving out bits of your past? This is what you see. People don't listen. This is
if what they are saying is true, and they are random. You know, they live all over the place right now. I don't think they are. We know they are not in contact with each other. It's not this conspiracy that the man is trying to talk about.
Conspiracy theory. Come on.
Yeah, we're not on telly.
You know what it is? No, people need to listen. They're not here. You cannot minimize somebody else's experience. Why are you wrong? Because you're speaking up. You may, like I said, people don't listen. If it's the case that one person has met this guy and he's wonderful, good for you. But there's a million other people who've met him and they don't have that to say. You cannot minimize somebody's experience and say that they're wrong. You cannot do that. You can be in disbelief. You're allowed to be in disbelief and think, bloody hell. Do you understand what I mean? I can't believe what I'm hearing. But you can't tell another person that they're wrong. But speaking up, for, like you said, for the voices that can't speak, you can't minimize somebody.
But let's take the case of Wisdom. You know, Wayne Wisdom, who sexually abused his daughter from very young for years and whatever, denied it. She managed to get the case actually to court. So he's arrested and there's an investigation pending. The whole community around her comes down on her. She's got a very high profile brother. She's not allowing me to say who his name is, but he's very well known. And he even sort of by proxy turned his back on her because he allowed his dad to be bailed to his address. The point of the matter is that when it came up to the 11th hour now, and he realized that he tried to run away to Jamaica, first of all, spent a long time out there, but when he came back, he got rearrested. And so that at that point, they took his passport, so he couldn't run away again. He was still protesting his innocence. Everyone around him, including when we put him up, other people jumped on us in the way that they have with Kevin Bennett or wherever. In fact, not very many people have actually jumped on us. Thinking about it, he has. But anyway, the whole shebang played out the way it normally does. Turns out that he's then charged. And his best friend, who was holding out for him, not dissimilar to the way that this Killer P was representing his brethren, this guy, and then had to retract his statement by saying, when Afra was scandaling you or whatever. It's just colloquial language. It doesn't say anything. But the point is that he eventually was due to be charged. Now, he'd been staying out of London on his bail conditions with his son. And he went, anytime he had court or had to attend the police stations at this point, he was staying with his best friend. Okay. So he now knows that you're going to go to court tomorrow and this is actually, you're going to be charged. This is what the news that you've got. So you need to go to court to be charged. You know now that the game is up. All those people that believed you will now know that the game is up, because you're going to be charged for the rape and your paedophilic activities with your daughter, right? He goes to his friend's house who's saying, like, you know, you're anxious, I get it. I'll come to the court with you. I'm standing by you. He then confesses. He confesses to his best friend. His best friend is appalled. He says, you know, you can't stay with me tonight. He's telling his best friend about his fears and if he goes to prison, what they're going to do to him. And I'm scared, you know. He then goes missing. He doesn't turn up for court the next day to answer the charges. He goes missing because he knows that he's going to get put on remand as well. He's a flight risk, right? 2 days later, I do believe it was, or no, actually, I think it could have even been longer than that, but it was no more than a week. His body turns up, is dragged from the Thames. He killed himself. That man would have that man would have stood trial. And we have had convictions. According to Kevin Bennett, we haven't. We have had convictions, not just the big, we just haven't got round to the big names that you know in Brixton, because they are so prolific. It will take years to investigate each and every one of those crimes. Don't think it ain't going on in the background, because it is. So that's kind of where we stand with things, sis. When it comes on to Afra Belly, I just put them all in the same pot. All narcissistic in nature. They need a diagnosis. Every single one of them. None of them can substantiate their clapback claims, because it's really interesting, isn't it? You know all these things about Afua, you know all these things about me, and you hold back until I call your name. Why don't you come out and say what you've got to say before that? Do you know what I mean? This big movement that you're bringing up, you're so incensed and so feeling it for the people that you believe are innocent and have been hurt by this platform. Why have you not set up a GoFundMe and a movement for them before this? Can you see the absolute synthetic nature of these people? It's just too much. Synthetic. None of them are real. All in it for their own gain. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like I said, I wasn't there, my sister. You there, sis? Have we lost you? Oh, we're here. We're good. Yeah, I wasn't there. What I do know as well is that when it comes on to Afra Belly, however, she is I mean, the catalogue of evidence against her is just shocking. Shocking. I think she's a psychopath, to be fair. When you look at the prolific nature of her prey, like the way she picks her prey, and do you understand? Yubo Morland, this platform is for exposing predators, and this woman is definitely a predator. You know, this woman is definitely a predator. If I'm protecting a woman beater, people need to send me the cohort of women and the evidence that whoever I'm protecting as a woman beater is. I don't know who you're talking about. I'm just looking at some of the comments, because unlike like all of these people that I've spoken about that do what they do, especially those that have an online presence, all of them block out comments that challenge them. We don't do that. We block out people that are being abusive. We don't block out people that are challenging. Come and challenge away. But what's interesting about the people in the comments, they don't come on and challenge face to face. Why not? The link is there. We don't block people from coming on. We don't want to only hear our own voice. You know? It's crazy. We keep the spies, the trolls, we keep them all until they start misbehaving, my sister. So I just found it very interesting that Afra Belly was on this Kevin Bennett's live tonight. Because I think she was clearly looking for some sort of ammunition. I mean, he did sort of sell it like he was going to come with some kind of information. He just banged on about an old beef between him and Killer P, which I know Killer P is more than capable of managing himself. Has nothing to do with us women. Has nothing to do with us over here at the His Time Is Up campaign. So, yeah, she was clearly over there looking for that. She's a narcissist of the highest order. She's actually not very good at what she's trying to do, I don't think. And I really feel sorry that she was able to penetrate your armor and the armor of all the sisters that I've spoken to. And that's because of association. She doesn't have that with me. We didn't walk together. We didn't do an event together. We didn't share ideas that way. So all she's going to do is regurgitate what the trolls say. You know what I find very interesting? There's something I forgot to show last week, actually, sis. This is the rank hypocrisy of the individual. And I want to get back to Kioma in a minute after this. But this is the rank hypocrisy of the individual. So she has a post that she put up. And I think it says something along the lines of, where is it? Those who think they can discern. Oh, no, I don't think it's that one, actually. Is it this one? When a mentally unbalanced, drug smuggling, baby daddy chasing, convicted criminal granny tries to team up with another dunce, whatever, and everybody knows the thing anyway. I want to look at the first part. So she says, when a mentally unbalanced, so I don't know where she gets that evidence from all of a sudden, because I was definitely mentally balanced enough for her to beg Fred on this platform. I'm a drug smuggling. Well, I'm not. I've told my story. Drugs were involved in terms of it being ganja. You understand? But everybody knows that I went there to get back diamonds and I was decoyed and double-crossed. So you're telling a story that I've already told. No original thought there. No new information. Okay. And then she goes on to say, a baby daddy chasing. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. And then I'm a granny. Well, facts. You know, how high school, how illiterate. You know, these mutton dressed as lamb, my sister. So let's go on to see a WhatsApp message that she sent me, because I showed a couple of WhatsApp messages, how she's telling me how wonderful I am and then cussing me in the next breath. But what I didn't show last week, because I'd forgotten to show it, was this WhatsApp message from her. Okay. There you can see a video. There's Big James in the video of me chasing down my baby daddy. That's what you can see on that video caption there. But this is from Linnea. This is from my own WhatsApp. And she says, bullet. Yes, Afua. Yeah? Yes, Afua. What's the rest of it? You did that? Laughy face emoji, laughy face emoji. How do you feel? You see the mad rank hypocrisy, duality, jinnership of these people, my sister. I can't. I'm done. I am so done with these people. I forgot to show that. I think that is very significant, because there you can see how she's playing it. Do you understand? Why are you putting that up about baby daddy chasing? You were joining me in that. You were giving me, what did they say, the young people? You were gassing me. When I did it. That's what the young people say, right? You were gassing me up.
Oh God.
Do you understand?
You know what? Actually, it sounds
what an idiot. That's what we call duppy bat in Jamaica, honestly. Seriously. Get a better shot, Linnea. I've been trying to spare you, you know, my sister. If you notice, when you first fast up your little ranking us underneath self with me and came and tried to distress my vibes before my live with your foolishness, trying to get me to buy out your argument with Killer P, when all along you knew it's because you were trying to look man and he rejected you. Good job, I'm not an idiot and I didn't join your argument and reject the brother, isn't it? You understand me? I allowed you. I went on that live and I did not call you by name. I talked about the situation and I talked about it respectfully. I said I got nothing but love for the sister, but she's kind of passing her place still and I didn't say who you were. It's not until you start come back again for the brother because he's innocent. I don't know about anything else in brother's life. No one's shown me anything to the contrary of what I believe. But if there's anything else, I ain't heard about it. But in relation to you, the man is an innocent man. And you've texted on him just like you have a myriad of other people from Jamaica to back to England and back again. You can't even move too straight in Jamaica because you know that it will be a bullet for you. The things you have done, you need to, and you're talking about consulting the ancestors and the spirits? No way. No way. Because if you were really consulting true ancestors and spirits, you would be getting a beating long time to tell you to fix up yourself. Or maybe you just like a beating. Maybe you already have.
Sis.
Amber, Afua is going so hard for Killer like they are sleeping together. You see these dirty niggas. Look pan me and look pan Killer P. Killer P is a younger for me. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm a big sister for Killer. And I sure know that Killer can get some hot gal in his age group and don't need some old foot menopausal woman like me. I want to them, my sister. How about like they're sleeping together? You lot are nasty. My big old crusty self. What Killer P would I want with me? You lot are fools. I can't with them.
You know, it gets to the point.
Clean up your dirty mind. That must be you that want Killer P. Killer P's my little bro. He's my little brother them age. And I'm no cougar. I've said it a million times on here. I think that's female perpetration. Forget all of that. I like man my own age. In fact, I like them a lot older. You know, a little grey in their beard now that I'm getting up in age. Love it. Stop your noise. Sorry, sis. Go ahead.
No, do you know what I feel? I feel at this point, it's like you can't even take what she's saying seriously. I saw that post when she put that up, and I just kind of bypassed it because I thought to myself, this is what you do. When you can't get your way, that's when the name calling starts coming out. It's like you said, it's schoolyard tactics. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, I don't know what the female version. You know, we have misogynists. What would we call the female version? Because I really don't think she likes men. Because I don't understand how it's in one breath. It's like you're trying to exalt yourself.
There is a female version. I can't recall it at the moment, but there is a female equivalent for that.
Yeah, I don't know what the name is, but that's what I feel like she is. You know what? There's part of me, let me tell you how I felt this morning. There's part of me that felt like, do you know something? I actually feel sad for this woman.
On a level for true. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel sad for this woman, right? But then there was another part of me that didn't feel sad for her because then I start to remember all the things that she's done to affect these people and how far she would take it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very far. This is last week, sis. I was still trying to, hold out because she had shown me sort of screenshots and different things of women that she'd spoken to about Ramon Kalai and whatever. But from everything that I've heard this week of what she's capable of and what I've seen, not just on this page, from women I've spoken to. I haven't spoken to the woman who made this page. I'd like to get hold of her actually. I'm starting to think, could she have manufactured that? Because somebody's pointed out to me that she never ever used to speak about any trauma with this guy, Ramon Kalai, only about her brother. Somebody who knows her has been sort of on a little bit of a trot with her for a while. She said she never spoke about it. It's only after I started His Time Is Up campaign, in the lead up to her suddenly popping up on our platform, that she started to put things out with these lots of profiles that she has. So I'm thinking, well, if she's capable of all that I've heard that she's capable of, is she capable of manufacturing that? I believe she is. She's a bit of a dab hand with the old video stuff and putting things together. She probably could be. So big question mark over all of that, because she clearly has a personality disorder. Clearly. This isn't normal behavior. You don't just... so many people. Why is it always you then that everyone falls out with and everyone's trying to come for? And, you're talking about pet demons and things like this all the time. There's always demons. They're always demons, it seems. Everyone's always a demon suddenly when they try to call her out on her own demonic behavior. Interesting. Well, people that worship these things, they do like to invert things, don't they? And mirror it back. This is what they do. It's what they do, my sister. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Whatever you say next, Linnea, you better come with somebody like this sister here that can verify your talk. And especially when it comes on to Killer P's a perpetrator, he's an agent, he's this, he's that. Come and verify your talk, Linnea. Where's the people to say that this is true and of their experience? But you like to fabricate things, don't you? Sis, tell me about what you were saying to do with the way that she deals with her daughter and she got her to put poetry or something on her page. She kind of told me a version of that, but I can't recall all of it.
She's horrible. She's very horrible. And her daughter is a very sweet soul. You can see she's a sweet soul. But when you look at her in her eyes, you can see she's very unhappy. Her mum bullies her. She bullies her. Wow. She manipulates her and she bullies her. For me, I feel like she always has to have a minion to do her will. Do you see what I'm saying? She always has to,
like most narcissists, yeah.
Her will. Yeah, and for me, that's the part that I find the hardest, because you can see her daughter is actually a very sweet soul, but she doesn't. I don't know if she has quite grasped the concept of the damage that her mum has caused. And you know, because it's her mum, it's like you're gonna love your mum in a different kind of way. So
absolutely,
for me, that's the saddest part. You know? She seems like she's a very, very, very sweet soul. I remember that I watched a post one day of her daughter talking about her dad, yeah, and it was in poetry, right? But this was encouraged and put out there by her. Her mum encouraged her to do this. There's nothing wrong with speaking your truth, because we've all got our stories to tell when it comes to whatever our experience, our life experiences. But I feel like her mum kind of pushed her into the foreground, because she was just basically, her mum's attitude was that, well, you know, this is my daughter's experience and it's okay for her to go out there and say all of these things. But it didn't feel, I don't know what the word, disingenuous? I don't know if that's the right
I've not
word.
seen it, actually.
But
I think she might have sent it to me, but I don't remember.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Actually clicking it.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. It was many years ago.
I think I did see that. I think I did see that piece, actually. She might have sent that to me, yeah. But I didn't have the backstory.
That she wrote. Yeah, I think, you know, some writing about it and talking about it can be cathartic, but the way in which it was put out there, it's like she's almost encouraging her daughter to be like her, to have that venomousness and just talk about people like that.
Well, the one thing that I can confirm is that when it came on to what I did with What This Baby Father, my little girl's never ever been exposed to that. She doesn't see it. She hasn't seen it. She won't see it. You know what I mean? Maybe when she's older, but certainly not now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I make sure of that.
Don't get me wrong. Again, like I said, you cannot minimize her daughter's experience. But I feel like she was using it as like she was exploiting her. Do you understand? To talk about her dad in the way in which she did, and I feel like that was her own personal angst as opposed to her daughter's. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I hear you on that, sis. But at the end of the day, I guess that could be construed that that's just your thoughts and feelings on it. She might have a reasoning behind that. Yeah. I'm more interested in the fact that she scammed so many people out of money. She has hurt sisters by trying to attack their platforms and trying to sink their business. And the fact that she's told a lot of lies on men and tried to destroy their lives. So this to me is the same kind of thing that she's trying to do to Killer P, and trying to kill two birds with one stone and try to handle me like she's handled you and other sisters. Sis, tell me about Kioma, what you know.
What I read, because I don't know this Kioma.
Well, I spoke to a sister that actually spoke to him. Yeah, I spoke to a sister that actually spoke to him.
Who knew him?
Yeah.
Who knew him?
Yeah.
So what you're saying corroborates with that. This same platform that's been put out about all the atrocities that Elena has committed. What she explained to me corroborates the same story that I'm seeing on this platform. What this person has described. What happened to Kiyomi. So for me, it made my blood run cold, because it's like basically you got involved with this guy. It didn't work out for whatever reason, and because it hasn't worked out, you're a woman scorned. You've literally destroyed this man's life. You've torn up documents, legal documents of his, destroyed things to do with his business, so he can't move forward. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then the next thing you know, allegedly, you know, and I say this heavily because I can't really prove that, but allegedly, the next thing you know, this we know he's passed on, but allegedly she put a hit out on him. And he died. Was it in the car crash, I think?
Yeah, this is what it wasn't just the page, but there was other people that spoke to him before he entered it, you know, before he died in the car crash, that you know, that will swear blind that he believed that she would try something like that because of the onslaught that she'd given to this man. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. I'd have loved to have been able to speak to him. He may be the same person. I don't know if it's him or someone else who she poisoned his crops with Aki water. I believe it is him. And if you go on that page, people, if you actually go on that page, people, right, it's him. So she terrorized him before. We don't know. She allegedly ordered a hit on him and he died in a car crash, but I don't know about that. Go onto this page, people, and you'll see what we're talking about, and a whole lot more of information, and a string of men who she's believed to, well, not believed, but, well, yeah. I've not spoken to the men themselves. I'd like to track them down, actually. But a lot of men, especially in Jamaica, that she's tried to wreck their lives with allegations and different things, you know, terrorizing them, stalking them. This is not normal behavior.
Did you get tired?
That's what I'm saying.
Did she not get tired? Don't you get tired?
So she can run up her mouth a little more and put up posts about being some sort of earth mother, and speaking to Ifa and all the rest of it. But you're a fraud. You're a fraud. Let me turn on my camera for that one. You're an absolute fraud is what you are. You're a fraud. You know, you're not healing anybody out here. You are definitely in the darkest, deepest, sunken place. That's where you are. You are in the sunken place, woman. And you are a predator against your own sisters. No different from those predators out there. How dare you even try to bring your mouth against people? How dare you? I don't know who this little itching girl thinks that she is. But, you know, they'll try to take the video down like it matters. Screen record, everyone, and send it around WhatsApp for them. That's what we need to do. I'm not even in the mood anymore, sis. I really am. I just want to let off on these people because they're a scourge in our community. They really, really, really are. Do you understand? I call people out according to the information that we receive. I have no personal vendetta. I have no personal gain. You understand what I'm saying? I have no reason. But when you get people like this little one here, you understand me? What is your motive? You approach this platform. You understand me? And you're bright to come up here as well, knowing that's how you've been dealing with your own sisters. We never knew. You knew, though. Wow.
She got audacity.
The barefaced rank. This is why it's about narcissism. She's a total narcissist. Probably one of the worst I've seen. Because your barefacedness to know that you've left a trail of destruction behind you like this, and you're still going to come and bright up yourself on the His Time Is Up platform, where we have real sisters that have suffered these traumas, but you've been actually perpetrating on your own sisters. You're bright and outer order. What a wicked, wicked girl. What a wicked girl. You know, and I'm going to make it my personal business to actually track down Ramon Kalai and all those people that you've mentioned in Jamaica. I'm due a visit out there soon, actually. So I'm going to actually track them down and have conversations. You're bang out of order, and you're trying to bring this platform into disrepute. You're bringing the voice of victims into disrepute. How dare you? And preying on vulnerable sisters that are seeking healing when you're just on a money scam. And you're busy trying to, in your deranged state, trying to bring down sisters to the point where some of them have become depressed. Some of them are too scared to come on and speak out like Sister Sarjo is, because they're afraid that you'll start coming for them again and trying to mess up their brand and making their lives a goddamn misery. How dare you?
Wow.
How could she? You understand? Nobody ain't troubled you out here. Succubus. So when I say you have a Jezebel spirit, I mean it, because it's only the spirit of Jezebel that could have you behaving like this, using sexuality to draw down the man them and coming after the sisters them with nothing but bitter, spitting vengeance and jealousy. That is the spirit of Jezebel. You have to exercise yourself and repent. My God. You understand, my sister? It is wrong. And if you, Kevin Bennett, are guilty of the things that these women have accused you of, if you are guilty as well, my gauntlet that I'm throwing down to you, my brother, is that you need to repent as well. You need to complete the journey that you say you're on. I'm not in a position to doubt whether or not you've become enlightened, but you can't be enlightened to the point that you're saying you are if you have not paid your atonement. You got to pay your dues, brother. You got to pay your dues. Somebody is saying about the name is ridiculous. Yes, it is a bloody ridiculous name. We're not talking about the Kevin Bennett in his 40s or maybe even his 30s. We're talking about the young man Kevin Bennett who called himself a stupid name after two American rappers or comedians. I can't remember which one. Kid and Play. Yeah. We already knew about Play, but I had no idea that there was a connection to somebody called Kid. I'd have been talking about it at the time. He was called out separately. So if that was a double act, Kevin Bennett, you and this Anthony Douglas, I do believe his name is. Correct me if I'm wrong, mods. You know, with me and names. But the brother that we called out, the sister was in, I think, a baseball or a basketball scholarship in America. And she'd gone to him for music advice because he does music and stuff. And he'd raped her. You know, that young sister, she came on and told her story herself. So, or did she? Maybe I did. Anyway, there's been so many. I need to look back. But I know who we're talking about. Never knew that that was this one's best friend, that they used to hang about with each other in the Stockwell Park estate and do all these things. But like I said, sisters really need to go to the police. If they are serious about wanting to expose this, they've come to us, they've asked us to expose it on a community level, it's time for them to do the rest. I can't manage every case. I can't make these people go and put in statements. I can encourage them, which I do, but that's as much as I can do, you know? The rest of it is what it is. It's what it is. Sister, thank you so much for joining us, sister. I know you've got more stories about this mad woman, but I do believe that...
you know what?
We've got somebody
to be
coming
honest,
on.
you know,
Bless up, my brother. Yes,
got
sis.
more stories.
We've got somebody. Bless up, sis. Yeah.
What?
What's up, bro? I'll come to you in a minute, my brother.
All right. What
you were saying, then I'll move to the brother here.
To be honest with you, for me, the way I feel, yeah, yes, I run the risk of her going on her troll campaign again. But how I feel is that, like, we can't keep living in fear of this woman. Like,
That's
who is she
right.
at the end of the day?
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what I mean? She's not credible. She's not credible. What's she going to do? She's going to make some post. She's going to diss you. She's going to say this, and it will blow over.
Exactly. 90 a talk, as they say.
Yeah, she's just the empty thing just making noise. Because you know what? When I went on, I came home and I saw that she added me from one of her multiple pages with her multiple personality disorders, talking about, wasn't you the same person that she outed? And I knew, all I responded was, okay, Linnea. Because I'm thinking to myself, do you think that we're that dumb that we don't realize that it's you? Like, what are you doing? You're a big grown-ass woman, well, allegedly, and this is what you're doing. You've got time to be opening up pages to be trolling people. For what?
For real.
You ain't got nothing better to do. Do you understand?
Her retribution will be vast, my sister. She'll be vast. Sis, I'm going to wrap that one up right now. Mega, jump back on, my brother. I'm anxious to talk to you. Thank you, my sister. Thank you so much.
No problem. You take care. Peace.
Take care, my sis. Take care. Mega, jump back on for me, bro.
You too.
Jump back on. Let me see if I can get the brother back on. Oh, here we go. Wonderful.
Yo,
yes,
sis.
Blessed love, sis. Blessed love, brother. So used to saying sis. How you doing,
latest, man? Update me, man. What's good?
Hold on 1 second for me. I'm on my other bit as well. I'm here, bro. We haven't caught up in a minute.
You know what it is? I've been meaning to come on this thing from ages ago. You get me?
Yeah, for real.
Just balance off the settings, man, and let people know what time it is, man, because there's foolishness being spoken about. But how's things, though?
I'm good, my brother. I'm good. I'm so good.
I see something got.
You know the glass is always half full. Say again?
I see something got the other day about Kevin.
Yes.
Oh,
yes, indeed. Do you know him?
Well, go on. I know Kevin still, man.
I know you're an original South Londoner.
Yeah, of course, man. All about Brixton, Junction, Stretton.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me that you know him, actually. It's good to see you, though, bro.
We're busy, man, chasing them big M's, man.
I know.
Tackle off man's community. You get me? I'm a man. I like to come with peace, man. You know what I mean? Like
you know what, bro? I've always said it. I've said it a million times here, and I'm going to say it again before we proceed. You are one of the calmest, most balanced, most level-headed brothers I have ever come across in my existence. Man. Big up, man, like Mega Man.
People like to give us a reputation that Mega's dangerous, this person's dangerous, all of that. Yeah, we can all be as dangerous as we want to be. You get me? But we have to uplift man's community more so. You get me? But this little big head youth, man, and this little goofy toot youth chatting shit about, man. What is it? 12 months ago, 11 months ago? Everyone behaved themselves, man. Everyone behaved themselves, man.
Who are we talking about?
Who are we talking about from earlier?
Ah, all right. From you said big head, I should know.
And that's what I'm saying, these little tramps, these little germ youths, you know what I mean? Let me show you something about Brixton and Junction, yeah? Let's talk about age group, because there's enough people online from my era. I like to claim they were the baddest in Brixton.
Yeah.
Or the baddest in Junction, or the baddest in Streatham. We were the youths of them times there.
I got you, bro. I can hear you. Yeah.
But level off yourselves, man. You know what I mean? There's a lot more serious man out here that was in and around our times that were moving a certain way, and we were the youths of them times. You get me? If we're talking about 1993, man's 12, 13 years old. The school kids. Don't let no man come online and make it seem like we was in serious beef with Brixton. The school kids thing, you get me?
Exactly.
And we were like, Battersea boys, we were older than our age, man. We look older than our age, man. So we used to fist up a lot of man and beat up a lot of man. But anyone could come to our area, you know. We were sound men. Anyone could come to our area, sit down and come, you know, play some music and, you know, MC and do their little thing in the clubs. But if you start trouble, we're going to run you out, man. And that's all it is. You see me?
Right.
So, yeah.
If we're talking about that historic thing, you know, I saw that wide open for what it was. And I made that reference earlier on. I felt that Bennett is doing exactly the same thing that Quincy did in terms of trying to bring an old beef, attach it to me, and use that as a kind of deflection.
Quincy can't talk about me. Like you, they can't fucking talk about me. You see, in a man's time, I have a lot of respect for anyone in any area that is calculated about their badness and has a real reason for their badness. You understand what I'm saying? But there's certain people, and I can't even say people, there's certain ends and communities that was infested in crack cocaine. Yeah? Fiends. We call them ting man, ting heads them time days, you see me? And if you're smoking crack, you wasn't respected, bro. You get me? Back in the day, aunties, cousins around, man, you used to have to look out for them, man, because you rob your mother, you rob your brethren, you rob your sister. How you feel that day is how you go. You didn't respect that. So let alone man smoking crack and rolling around in machines, you're mad. Hey!
It didn't happen.
Crackheads
don't carry guns.
Yeah, you kind of have to stay away from, man. You understand what I'm saying? But let's get serious, though. In man's real time, you know what I mean? Of being an adult and coming in this thing, nobody disrespected man's corner. I hear people online talking about man's brethrens and all of that chaos, yappy deans. Are you crazy? When you hear about the names of my people, then blood, just settle yourself and just have a little respect, because we got respect, man. When you see Darren and certain people from my ends, we're in Brixton every day. So solid face, live in Brixton every day. Half of Brixton is Mac's family. You understand what I'm saying? I was in Mitesfield every single day in my teenage years. Face from So Solid, live in Mitesfield. You understand what I'm saying? So Brixton is like a second home to Junction, man. And certain Brixton, man, they don't even know the depth of how far Brixton stemmed from. But there's certain Battersea people that set up Cox and Sound, and certain other Battersea man that used to go down to Brixton, used to live in Brixton, certain food shop man owners and promoters that used to live in Brixton that migrate to Junction. So there's a lot of families on top of each other. So let me show you something. We're all as dangerous as each other. Some are more dangerous today than others. And that's what I'm saying. But we have family and kids and sisters and mothers and cousins all around us in every ends. Today, if we set off something, it's crazy. So we just have to relax, man. And deal with your consequences, really, boy. If you was in a home where you was 13 years old, big head, you know what I mean, and you was raping boys, yeah, you know what I mean, from one hostel to another, just own up to your thing, man. Don't come and bring up don't mention none of us Junction boys in your mouth or nothing like that, bro.
And you know, this is all.
And I come to this platform and do it because this is the platform that set it. You get me? Yeah. So if you want to have a discussion, we come to this platform and do it. And that's what I'm saying.
But apparently we were in a conspiracy together to bring him down, just like this one is saying about Killer P. Apparently,
so they don't know how we linked up.
This is it, Mega. I'm not from Junction. We can't be in a conspiracy. I'm not involved in Mandem beef, just like the same with this Bennett.
No, let's get this straight. don't let any of these youths come online and talk about beef. If you want to talk about beef, there's a lot more serious situations that real gangsters can talk about. Let's not talk about play fights and little scrummages and little rushes outside clubs and all of that. I'm not going to extend to spread rumors about them.
And bring our sisters out of it.
And you see the funniest thing. You see the funniest thing. People might not remember when we was all in jail on the same wing in Feltham them times 97. And the goof too, you get punched up and I have to tell man, shut up and don't move. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna, you see me, since I come into this business, I don't want to disrespect any certain individuals from the streets because I had to take care of men that weren't from that ilk, that were living in their own areas. You know what I mean? From Ashley Waters to Face, you know what I mean? To Neutrino, man, I had to look after certain men. Every day we was on Rascal Acre Lane radio station. The So Solid album was created in Brixton. It wasn't created in Junction. We was in Brixton every day recording the album. So all these new little tag-along people that want to think about, want to see a little big-head you, crackhead you go online and talk about real beef. That wasn't real beef, man. You understand what I'm saying? That was fun. Yeah? So anyway, on top of that, I just want to send my little message, and my support for you is always Afua, man. You already know if there's any threats to any of these ladies out here and people out there, you know I can bring out the force. You understand what I'm saying? And before, even after that little big head youth was talking and them things there, we came out to Brixton. Stepped out.
Yep. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And Vincent Rapp was there, and I had a good conversation with a constructive conversation with Vincent Rapp and a couple young Brixton youths that was with him. You get me? And they understood man's standpoint. You understand what I'm saying? I expected to see other Brixton man from there, a certain ilk that was spoken about around that time, because they were quick to go online and talk shit about man, but they weren't quick to step out in their own area and come and have that conversation. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I was out there, man. We brought out the forces, ex-soldiers and ex-military police. Yes, they were around you that day there. So there's a certain level that we can bring out at any time, at any call, if the threat is of any magnitude. And that's what I say to any of them ladies out here that are victims of your, you know what I mean, of your campaign, or victims that your campaign supports. Yeah,
absolutely.
Afua has the links to do whatever she needs to get done. You understand what I'm saying? And the support from a man like us. But I don't want nobody coming up here and talking about a killer P or a next man and diverting shit. Come on the platform and deal with your situations.
Absolutely.
There's certain people that have been raped, sexually abused. And you know what? Some of them, man, they don't even understand that. You don't even realize how you lot were acting with women them times there. Because you were so cracked up. You might not even realize your attitude and the stench that you still carry today. You understand what I'm saying? So if you've raped any men and any women, come and deal with your situation, man, before you come out here and start talking about things. And another thing I'm going to say to most of my black youths from the streets, because I'm one of the first examples, man. I come into the business, showed enough street man how to change their hustle. You know what I mean? So big up a lot of Brixton, man, that got into the music thing and tried to do something different for their ends. But I'm going to say to enough, man, come offline, bruv, and stop talking about how much guns you hold and how much killings you've done and what you've done with police. Your youths are growing up on the road. Yeah, your daughters, they're meant to go into school and get good education. When they type in their family name, is your stuff that's coming up online. When you walk into banks and you want to get loans and you want to get mortgages, they're just typing your name online and everything that your name's attached to comes up. From an interview to Instagram to Facebook, everything comes up. So know what you're doing, man. Yeah. We're in European Britain. We're black people in Britain. Enough man's forgotten their way. Yeah. Enough men are rascal following secondary fathers and secondary cousins and secondary brethren. Follow your mother and your father, your real mothers and your fathers. Follow your real grandmas and your uncles. I understand why the fuck they come here in the first place. And stop playing yourself. Copying fucking Tony Montana's and Italian bosses and them thing there. And none of us done fucking organized crime properly. Sorry for my language. No, it's the truth. None of us come up here and actually done something properly with our area, done the gang thing properly, made proper money out of it, bought a strip of land on the ends, opened up a casino or a hotel. None of us really done that. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah?
100%, brother.
So just understand like that we kind of, like when you're online talking about that's failed achievements. Yeah. And back in the day, yes, you had to be a bad boy to get certain perks. Those days are over. Yeah. Man was looking, all the little youths that you lot used to bully, is us, man, and that brought them up and gave them hope into this game. So that they can step up and be somebody. Because they couldn't be somebody before in man them's time.
Well, Mega, you know how the roads was running in those days. This whole thing is your era. And what I do know, even as an older, about Stockwell Park Estate, is that was definitely young people that was being forced to sell drugs on that
Stockwell
estate.
Park Estate.
True or
Stockwell
false?
Park Estate was a name in that time, but it wasn't one of the biggest names in them times.
No, exactly.
You know what I mean? You talk about Angel Town and Summer Leighton and you know what I mean? Like
all of that.
Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, yes, you had man that lived on even certain parts of Acre Lane. But look, let me show you something. One thing about Brixton, because I got so much love for people and Gallum and man them from Brixton, yeah.
Absolutely.
But they was their own fucking downfall. All this internal beef that half of the things that man them are speaking about when they go online, yeah, from Southwest, namely Brixton, a little bit of Gypsy Hill and Streatham and that, they talk about beefing with men in their own ends. They're talking about Duppy and their friends' cousins. They're talking about raping their sister's friends.
Oh, wow.
This is what we're talking about. Now, there's bare youths that have grown up in and around Southwest London where their mothers were raped.
Yep. By
some of these individuals. There's mothers were disrespected by somebody, even forced to smoke crack and deliver packages and go jail. Yeah. Some of these youths are some of the baddest youths out here now. But you think their mothers have told them certain things about it yet? Some of their mothers ain't even mentioned certain things.
This is why I always say that those sisters are part of the problem.
As time goes forward, no one's adopting any old school man them or you know what I mean? Because crack cocaine fucked up a lot of our black communities. You know what I mean?
Saying it, bro.
And just putting it down to certain man, because certain man ain't built like that. When I bucked them in jail in '97, it was a raw you never love it, Peter. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm not here to stand up online and deflate a man's reputation. Make him do that for himself. You understand what I'm saying?
You know what I love about you, Mega? You held your peace. When it was going on, I was saying, Mega, answer him. You didn't have time for that. You were above that. You know, you held your peace.
You know what it is? He's not big enough. You see, when it comes to the entertainment world is different. And I don't have a personal platform. Yeah, my platform is official, so solid. I don't have a Mega Man platform. I don't have a, you know what I mean? I have a Facebook and that, but I don't have a Mega Man platform on Instagram, Twitter, and all them things there. I run the So Solid account. So sometimes I have to remember that it represents more than just me. And if I'm going to answer back to people on these platforms, I have to understand that we're household. So Solid is a household name. Born and bred from Clapham Junction youths, and it's a household name. Grannies, kids, people that even switch over when they see gang movies on. They don't watch those. They don't watch those programs, but they listen to So Solid, and they know our individuals from the reality show guys, from certain little actors that's done their thing, and we've pushed them through to the game to make them see that light. You understand what I'm saying? So if I'm gonna speak out, I'll come on the platform. I was busy, man.
I know, bro.
Some things to handle, and the young ones are going crazy, man.
Let me just address this comment here from Sister Secret. Sister Secret, Mega don't need to talk on black community ever. He contribute harm to the community. You said earlier on Sister Secret that he sold crack. Which black youth didn't? It was a government-designed chemical weapon designed to destroy the black community. About that. Hold on. Before you answer, Megs. That's what it was to do. The difference is, did every brother that sold crack, because it was the majority of a certain era, if you're in your 40s or your 50s, that was the choices that was available to people. And I'm not saying you did, Mega, because I don't know if you did. But this person,
let me show you something.
This person seems to think you did. But the bottom line is this: did that crack dealer terrorize women, put girls from a care home on the game, terrorize people, rape them, do all of these things? That's what we're talking about. Go ahead.
Let me show you something. Yeah, I ain't gonna say I'm innocent to the drug game. Yeah, but my dad is a Rasta. And my family and my kids might see this in the near future if this goes. You know what I mean? If this stays online. Let me show you something. I dabbled in certain things when selling it. I was never a smoker or consumer of that shit. Yeah,
exactly.
I sold it for a minute and it felt nasty. The type of man them that I had to sell it to on the block were elders than me. Yeah. And they were so disrespectful when it come to paying up and certain things. I would have had to have disrespected them. Yeah. then
Well,
then
let's have it
I would
right.
have had to
You
disrespect
from a
them
very early
instead of
age.
get the money. So let me
You
show
were
something.
you were a
I'm a man.
superstar from an early age. You didn't need
Yeah,
to
I'm a man of morals. If I can't bring it into my house proudly, if I can't cut it in front of my mother, my brethren, my friend, if I can't take it into my friend's mother's house, I shouldn't be handling that. You see, weed, yeah, herbs is for the healing, yeah. When we was in Clapham Junction, it was me and certain other man that was selling crazy amount of weed to our people, and it was more of like family friends. You could walk into people's house and yes, mommy, here man, make some tea with it. Yeah, man, here man, strain this thing here. Yeah, man, dry this one out. And other people.
Well, we all went through a little bit of the old gang.
Right, so we're talking about Jamaican and my dad was, when you're Rastafari, you understand what I'm saying? It's religion.
Yeah, of course. Sister,
So
he was a year out of 30 calories. No, sorry, Mega. I've got to address this woman. I've got to address this woman, sis. Mega. Sister, I know who you are now. Now that you've come with the colorist talk. You have never given me a shred of evidence that this brother has made disparaging comments against sisters that are dark-skinned. All you've done is give me evidence of people that he knows from the music business or whatever. You've never been able to.
They're young. I don't know what your person is. Afua, they're young to what Mega Man's about, man.
Yeah, it's long. We know that is, by the way, don't we?
Yeah, they're young. They're premature.
I've realised who it is now.
They have to know me from early. And only a few.
It's the same. It's the secret. It's the same one. I know who it is.
There's a lot of people out there that know me from early. You understand what I'm saying? But just more so, man. When it comes to man, yeah, my dad is a Rasta. We don't play, yeah. And I'm not gonna dabble in anything in the streets, yeah, that I can't take into my home proudly and show my people that I've made money from this proudly, yeah. I was 18 years old, 17 years old when I came out of jail, 18 years old when I started So Solid.
There you go.
Way before into man's adult age. There's certain man that used that money and started to, buy houses and set up certain things with drug money. I didn't do none of that with drug money. That got squandered. Yeah. Everything that I moved forward with was with legit money. You understand what I'm saying?
Tell them
that. And man made money for my brethren. I'll tell you another thing. People say that Junction Boys were a gang. Yeah. We weren't enforcers or nothing. We didn't go around and terrorize people. We just went and partied, and if you fucked around, you got
that was more of a Brixton thing if we're talking about Southwest London.
We didn't go and terrorize people. But let me show you something. None of my friends died in the game when we was doing all of this. So what type of gang do you think we was? I didn't RIP any of my brethren from Junction. Name one. Name one of my brethren that any of these so-called guys smacked up and disrespected and one man. There's no one man or two man that can talk about any person who I roll with or me. You know what I mean? Especially after the age of 12, 13 and that. Are you mad?
Well, you're still a child at 12, 13.
We were different youths. So when people talk about 93, understand that these guys were running around abusing, disrespecting school kids.
Right.
You can't come online and brag about there's little youths that used to go to my school younger than me, Kwame. Enough man that started to roll with people like that. Got off their facing drugs, ended up going jail, fucking up their whole lives. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. What's that other youth that was on a little thing with him the other day? Begins with an O. It's gone mad a little bit now. He was a good youth.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. He brought him on James English one day. My man was a good youth, OV or whatever his name is.
Okay.
Yeah. He was a good youth. He used to come around, man. Mac used to look after OV. Yeah? The only thing Mac used to say is, bro, you're not smoking crack in my yard. Go sleep in the car. You understand what I'm saying? But he's gone into jail and he's become a person because he's had to defend himself and he's a man and he's grown into his ilk. But he knows he messed up himself by following the wrong company. You understand what I'm saying? So there's enough man that just destroyed man's life over crack cocaine. And now man's up here proud, acting like these youths were senseless youths. They weren't senseless youths, bro. They just followed the wrong advice, bro. Don't let none of these little cowards come online and talk about, man. If you don't want to address any of my people or us in real life, forget the online thing, man. We're not really doing that. But anyway, Afua.
Thank you, my brother. None of them ever come up on the live and talk their truth, my brother. None of them have it in. They're just gutless. They never ever take the link.
People, listen, I'm not behind Afua's thing. I've supported Afua plenty of times because I know shit. And if I hear any intimidation from certain people, blood, we're going to settle that intimidation. Yeah,
right.
It's not like back in the day.
You're not the mastermind behind it. We're not
Yeah,
so.
I'm not the mastermind behind it, but it's not like back in the day where certain people were talking their truths. Yeah, that they were traumatized or certain things or disrespected by people. You're going to bully them again to submission and silence. It's not going to happen. Certain people are bigging up certain girls on their platform, but you rape their brethren.
All right.
And they're messaging me saying, yo, I didn't know that's why is he bringing up you raped my brethren? So like, come on, man. Yeah. Like we understand what's going on. You get me? It's coming back to bite certain man. And certainly your brethren, they're real cool youths. Enough man, step brothers, family. It's nothing to do with enough man from Bricky and Junction. And there's people that done wrongs in both ends. Yep. You know what I mean? I can't wait to hear what's going on in the Wandsworth Borough. But the Wandsworth Borough, we're taking care of that borough for a good period of time. And that covers like 4, 5, 6 different areas.
It's time that we cleaned out the dross, isn't it? That's what this is about. And everyone's
cleaned out all of the anyone. Let me show you something about Junction. Anyone that went left, out of disrespect and had their morals not in check, they were outcasted. No one can come and talk about man in Junction or Mega Man from. We are Junction, bro. And we will be Clapham Junction forever and Batsy Boys forever, bro. Because we move with morals and respect. And when you see Dean White or Darren Biggs and you see us moving out there, we're doing things for our people, blood. Uplifting our people there. But that's the point. That's the point, isn't it, Mega? Is the fact that people go, oh, you only call out man from Brixton. It's because all of the gal them from Brixton or the gal at those times are calling you out. Why was there such a terrorization of the women? Let me show you something. It would have been what you see if my brethren, one of my brethren's chaos, didn't convert to Islam and didn't take a righteous path that most of us took. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of higher knowledge that we want to share with our brothers when everyone's free and everything. You know what I mean? But if he didn't take that path, a lot of men would have been flatlined out here. Because we're dealing with serious people, Tyson and Kay and other serious men. And we're not, that's why I say, forget about our generation, Afua. Our generation are talking online because we're out here free. The serious men, them are really birded. And there's certain men from Brixton and Clapham Junction that when they come out and start talking online, they're going to make certain men sound like puppies.
I definitely know that.
And certain people right now are acting better than they really was. You understand what I'm saying? Your team was short-lived. You get me? Your team wasn't spread across London, the whole of the UK. You know what I mean? You didn't have respect from every gangster. You had fear in your ends. Yeah, and that's where it lasted, bro. Yeah, but anybody in those times where we understand no cameras, police cars, no smartphones, crackheads with firearms. Are you crazy? I'm across the road. Yeah, and if I ain't rolling like that today, of course I'm across the road, because you could be minding your own business and something lands on your lap just because a man's hungry today and a man feels his spirit's techie. You see a pretty gal, his spirit get techie. You know what I mean? And enough man them from South know what I'm talking about, blood. But we're no fucking local youths out here, blood. I'm 43 now, 42, 44. Yeah, in the next couple of weeks. I don't even remember how old I am. You get me? So in 93, understand what age we were. 94, understand what age. 97, understand what we did, bro. 98, understand what we did, bro. And when I came out and I was doing the flossing thing on the road with my crew and doing our things and defending our corner, listen, bro, everybody, most serious man was either away or they was relaxed at that time, or they joined forces with man, because I was willing to do business with everybody, from Jaja Souls to anybody, to Coyote, anybody. If anybody came to me and spoke to me, would have broke bread and done some serious business. Cause I don't care about the little puppy shows that we used to do back in the day, at ragga dances and that, you know what I mean? And we never had problems with a whole crew of Brixton people. It was individuals. Yeah. And when those individuals misbehave, we'll bruck up the individual and tell their brethren, behave yourself, don't get involved. But they always move the numbers, so you know, that's their comfort zone, you see me? But that's how we were, man. You know what I mean? And that's basically my rundown of the thing. from these little youths online that want to spread little propaganda about, man, just know yourself, relax. You get me? Don't get people wind up online, because this real life thing is a bit serious, and I don't really want to, you know what I mean, step back into that circle there. Man.
No, you've transcended that life, and
greater
unfortunately you get these vipers that try to drag you back in, like all of us, you know.
Yeah, and I know you have your differences with the young bro, but Forever Family is an organization which I stand by. You know what I mean? It's something that, you know what I mean, I helped create, and you know what I mean, helped gave young bro, you know, a business and a symbol and a front to run by. And by any means, whether you fall out or whether he does the wrong thing, he's got a lot of polishing up to do. You get me? And just likewise anybody else who I support.
You know, I've always believed that, Mega.
And I'm not going to be against either or either. All I say is that our mission is bigger than what's in front of us today. Our grandparents came here and ended up buying houses and buying land. Their kids fucked it up. Yep. We are the kids of their kids. Yep. You understand what I'm saying? So we've got a job to do. I ain't got time for this postcode war thing and this. My son's involved in a lot of this bullshit. Our younger sons are involved. We ain't got time for all of that. But if it gets serious, then we'll have to, you know, step in and have the moral stand ground at that point. Understand what I'm saying? But who can't hear must feel. So if certain people want to take a path in their life, they take that decision because they're grown men. We were near enough grown men at the age of 19, 20. So these youths can't be 25 plus and still be kids. We're not having it. Absolutely. You know what I mean? So yes, love to all. Yeah. Blessed love, my brother. Blessings to everyone. I can't even add to that message. It's powerful. That don't be scared, man. You know what I mean? And at the same time, there is a lot of fear surrounding this particular story. Not Afra Belly, but we've had conversations about the way how certain things have been done. You understand what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, this is what it's about when it comes to politics, religion, and everything. There's going to be a lot of things that you can point out and dig and say, oh, but this, oh, but that, in every way of life. But just listen to the message. Listen to what these people are for and what they're doing, yeah? And understand it's bigger than the faults. It's bigger than the misinformation. It's bigger than the collateral damage. Yes, we understand there will be collateral damage. You clean that up, bro. Yeah. Suspecting our black women to clean up the trauma after they've been traumatized and want to speak out. You lot clean that up. You families and you man them on the road, clean that up. You make sure you take care of your kids and you tell them the truth about what's been going on. Or keep their ears away from this shit. You know what I mean? Anyway, power to the people, man. Power, my brother. Bless up. Yeah? I'm going to hit you up still. Love as always, man. Shout me when you're ready, man. As always, King. As always. Solid. Yeah. Yes, brother. Blessed love. I ain't having a bad word said about my brother. Let me tell you that this sister speak whatever. I don't care what color you think his children are. I've said it here. I've said it again. Any mixed race child is a black child. Yeah. Do you not look at them? Do they look white to you? It is what it is. And it's not like Mega doesn't have black children either. Me and him have beat that conversation out. Let me tell you. But we deal with a man's integrity. That's what we do. And when you hear the brother, you can see that is a brother that loves his black women. And that's where it begin and end for us. Big up, Mega Man. You don't know. Always love in my heart for you, my brother. Always, always. Yes, my brothers and sisters. So that's it. We've been going over 3 hours for this one. We really, really have. In conclusion, I don't think I need to say anything more about Afra Belly, actually. I think it's been said for itself. Just go over and check out that platform. You lot do what you got to do. I don't need to go and send my followers over to Kevin Bennett's page or even Afra Belly's page to try to create any kind of trolling or trying to report videos and taking them down and whatnot. If I wanted to, I could take that live down. You're talking about me. You know, the algorithms that deal with these things on Instagram and Facebook and wherever, they ain't got no sense. It's not even a human being. So all you got to do is put the report in and then they take down the video straight away. You know, it's hardly justice, is it? It's hardly looking at everything in the balance. So I don't really care about the takedown thing. Like I said, everyone screen record, share it on WhatsApp. It will be there in the community for all to see by whatever means. And it is what it is.
I want to big up Mega Man again. That brother always warms my heart. He is such a level-headed young man. He really, really is. And he's a brother that's often brought balance to even myself. You know, I can be fiery, and when I want to kick off and whatever, this brother has the ability to, you know, bring it back in balance, and he does that effortlessly, seamlessly. You know, he's a brother of justice and good cause. You know, this man is not going to come and involve himself in passa and deal with it. This man doesn't need to hide behind anybody to set up no platform against anyone. It's all just a load of poppycock. They get on my nerves, you know. They get on my nerves. Speaking truth, wind back the live. You'll see that I put up an Instagram page earlier on that is talking and exposing Heru, Linnea Heru, and you can go and have a look at it anyway. I'm not going to bother put it up again. I'll put the link up one more time, but in fact, you know what? We've done enough. It's 3 hours. We're now past midnight, and I'm going to go to my bed. So, my brothers and sisters, that's where it is. As I said, I can't say for sure if Kevin Bennett, aka Kid, from back in the day on Stockwell Park Estate, is guilty or not guilty. What I can say is that there's enough smoke for us to have to talk about it. And those in the community who overly know, because you do know, yeah, those in the community who overly know, who choose to stay silent, particularly those who weren't victims, and don't run the risk of, well, maybe you all run the risk of intimidation, right? Because even if you know, you can't snitch, right? These people are allowed to just replicate themselves in new forms and manifestations, and we just sit back and speak in hushed tones in corners. That's what we do. It was a wonderful summary from Mega Man of how our community has been affected and what was going on back in the day. Yes, people were selling drugs, but were they selling drugs in order to terrorize their community on some sort of power trip? Or were they just trying to get through until they knew better? You know, there is a difference. We can't run away from it. So being a drug dealer on its own is not enough. You know, it's what did you do with that? What did you do at the time? How fast did you get out of that? Did you make that your mainstay? In which case you then have body counts, you understand? Addicts that have killed themselves, wrecked their lives, whatever. So there's, you know, there's levels within the levels is all I'm saying, really. But one thing I love the fact that Mega confirmed, you know, when it comes onto the Quincy thing, and, you know, that's their thing. He's not behind this movement. Killer P is not behind this story. Doesn't go like that. His time is up. We are women who are speaking our truth from that time. And there ain't nobody that can tell me if you sold drugs and you got children and young people to sell drugs for you, that you weren't brutalizing them. If that is what you were doing, you know, and by all accounts from quite a lot of people in the community, that is what you was doing as a younger. But have you atoned? You know, you've tried to tell the story that you were involved in things. Have you atoned? Clearly not, because otherwise there wouldn't be these grumbles coming out of your community. It's not my community. I didn't grow up in Stockwell Park Estate. I'm saying you got some housekeeping to do, brother. That's what it is. You know, there's too much smoke, and there ain't no smoke without fire, is what I'm saying. Can I verify this with these people? I think that the community can verify it for themselves. I think everybody who knows of that era and who understands and absolutely unequivocally knows that this individual used to sell drugs and used to do these things and terrorize children and harm them, I think they can sort that out for themselves. They know. But, you know, they'll probably sit back and say nothing and try to watch this man sue me, and they'll all still whisper in silos. It's just ridiculous. It's one of them kind of open secret things, you know. But yeah, so we've dealt with those two people tonight. I'm actually, you know, I forget Kevin Bennett. I don't know too much about him. I know what I've heard. I know what these women have told me. I know that I want them to take it further. I'd love them to legitimize their claims through the courts. But we just report on here. And if they wanted to come on and tell their story, we would give them the platform. Let the community decide. Because actually, we live in a system where the powers that be and the courts do not favor the victims. That's just facts. Kevin Bennett wants to look up anything, look up the statistics and see why it is that we have the problem that we have. Look at the it's just undeniable Brother Mega just broke it down for us. We know what it was like back then. And we know how the men were moving around the sisters. It's as simple as that. So we've just got to really be truthful about ourselves. We've got to squeeze these bumps. People that have perpetrated need to be honest. If they're hoping for any kind of redemption, forget the community even for a minute. If they're hoping for redemption in the spirit, because let me tell you, the wages of sin will be paid. Do you understand? When you're drawing up your last breath, or when you have no more of your little mechanisms and your deflection tools and, you know, your manipulation tools to rely on, because old age comes to us all. It really does. We saw that with Rat, the mighty Rat, reduced to a cheap JD Sports tracksuit and an umbrella, coming to fight a load of women in Windrush Square. Really? The mighty Rat. Age reaches us all. So I would say to these young brothers, including Kevin Bennett, on the brook up on the folly ground. That's coming from an older sister. I'm your big sister. Brook up your folly ground. If you truly want to say that you want to put yourself in a position where you have become the beacon of enlightenment and healing for Black women, then you need to go back to your past, brother. You need to do a Sankofa and revisit your wrongs and atone for them, if what these sisters are saying are true, if what these other people are saying are true. Because there's men, there are grown men now who were boys at the time that you've hurt, if what they're saying are true. Repent, my brother, if what they're saying are true. As for Afra Belly, I think she's past repenting. People, I will see you next week. We can come back here, Afua Speaks, Community Conversations, and we'll chop it up again next week. More than likely not more than likely, but most definitely with another topic and another focus within the community. I will see you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Oh, we're coming up to Easter, aren't we? Ooh, I'm not sure that I'm doing a live next week, actually. I've just realized that is next week Good Friday, people. I do believe it's Good Friday, right? If it's Good Friday, I think it is Good Friday next week, isn't it? So it's Good Friday next week. And if that's the case, I won't be doing a live because I will be very, very busy frying my fish and dealing with my children and my grandchildren. So, excuse me, for any mother that knows it, you know it, and you know it's an all-day thing. So, yeah, we probably won't have a live next Friday, but I'll keep you informed. I'm sure it is Good Friday next Friday. If not, I shall see you the Friday afterwards, my people. Blessed love. Have a wonderful Easter, whatever you do, and I shall see you then. Blessed love. I've got this cough as well. I was hoping to sign off before the cough came, but it was too late. Blessed love, people. Love you all. Take care.